Let's go. Elisa, Bill, James, John, and the other vice-captain of the 10th team each summoned their own beasts. The 7 platinum-grade beasts also stopped in midair. The 3 Shadow Knight leopards also seemed to have noticed the danger. Their black eyes observed the 7 platinum-grade beasts in front of them, as well as the 7 platinum-grade pet beasts in the sky in front of them. They immediately changed directions and took a detour to leave from the side of Mida City. Elisa saw the Shadow Knight leopards leave and said in a low voice, "Very smart." Immediately after, the other platinum-grade fierce beasts arrived, and the 14 platinum-grade pets immediately began to attack. After dispersing a few waves of platinum-grade fierce beasts, of the 14 platinum-grade pet beasts present, only 11 were left. 3 of them were severely injured, and they were retrieved in time. Bruce smiled and said in Lou's ear, "If they are all scattered like this, we should still be able to easily survive." As soon as he finished speaking, Lou felt his heart palpitate again. Although this palpitating feeling was not as good as the more than 20 azure eagles he encountered last time, it still made Lou worried. Soon, Lou knew why he felt his heart palpitate. The Stormhawk told him that a group of black gold armored spiders appeared in his field of vision. There were more than 1,000 black gold armored spiders. Behind them, there were a group of nearly 1,000 rock-armored giant rhinoceroses and more than a dozen ferocious huge bears. They could probably reach this place in more than 20 minutes. Adult black gold-armored spiders, rock-armored rhinoceroses, and ferocious huge bears were all gold-grade beasts. Black gold-armored spiders were agile and specialized in close combat. The rock-armored rhinoceroses and ferocious huge bears were powerful in strength and defense. They were both tough to deal with. Once they gathered together on a large scale, it would be an extremely terrifying force. Even platinum-grade beasts would have to retreat in the face of this force. Not only that, above the black gold-armored spiders, the rock-armored rhinoceros army, and the densely packed silver-grade flying-type beasts. Lou reported the situation to the 5 platinum-grade beast masters. James's expression was extremely ugly. There are indeed a large number of rock-armored rhinoceros in Orvis Mountain, James said in a low voice. We can't let the rock-armored rhinoceroses get close to Mida City. Once they get close, the city walls of Mida City will find it difficult to defend against their attacks. Elisa said coldly, then try to draw them away. However, be careful of those silver-grade flying beasts. Bill nodded. All right. The 2 vice-captains of the emergency response team and the 5 platinum-grade beast masters immediately flew south. At this moment, Lou and the others, who were standing on the city walls of Mida City, also felt a tremor. The city walls were shaking. Looking from afar, they could clearly see the smoke and dust rising from the Orvis Mountain, which was covered in green. They could see countless trees being pushed over, and the densely packed fierce beasts could be vaguely seen in the smoke and dust. In the sky above them, there were also densely packed black spots spreading towards the surroundings of Orvis Mountain. That was the silver-grade flying-type ferocious beasts. The gold-grade land fierce beasts and silver-grade flying-type fierce beasts were not far from Mida City. However, if they ran at full speed, it would only take them 20 minutes to reach Mida City. Not long after, Lou and the rest saw that James and the rest had encountered a group of gold-grade beasts. Their 7 platinum-grade flying-type beasts began to attack the black gold-armored spiders that were running at the front. Hundreds of black gold-armored spiders jumped up and jumped over 100 meters, like a roaring golden tsunami. After the golden tsunami, one of Elisa's platinum-grade flying-type beasts instantly disappeared. Elisa's platinum-grade flying-type pet beast had already suffered serious injuries. This caused the flying altitude to drop, and it was too late to dodge. Losing a platinum-grade flying-type beast, Elisa's face was gloomy. However, at this time, she could not care too much. She sat on the black gold eagle and said loudly, "Quickly attack them and try to draw them away." The gap between platinum-grade and gold-grade fierce beasts was not as big as Lou had imagined. 4 top-grade gold fierce beasts would definitely be able to fight against a low-grade platinum beast. The 5 platinum-grade beast masters present could still send out more than 10 platinum-grade pet beasts, but they did not dare to place their ground-level pet beasts in front of thousands of black gold-armored spiders and rock-armored rhinoceroses. The 6 platinum-grade flying-type pet beasts quickly climbed up and pulled away, immediately launching an attack on the black gold-armored spiders on the ground. The black gold-armored spiders that had escaped from Mount Orvis were attacked, and they all jumped angrily into the air. wanting to jump onto the 6 platinum-grade pet beasts. However, they didn't succeed. Instead, they began to deviate from their escape route, lured by Elisa's lack of people. However, the real situation was not as optimistic as they had imagined. James shouted loudly, "Be careful, those silver-grade flying-type beasts are coming." Elisa said unwillingly, "Damn it, it has to be at this time." The expressions of the 2 vice captains were not good either. Bill saw the black mass of silver-grade flying-type beasts and said loudly, "We have to leave immediately." James looked behind the black gold-armored spiders with a grim expression. The 4-meter-tall, tank-like rock-armored rhinoceroses were wrapped in rock armor. He was also extremely unwilling. "There's no other way. We have to retreat immediately and go to the front of the battlefield. We're stuck here, and the city guards don't dare to use their energy cannons." Right at this moment, the silver-grade flying-type beasts instantly drowned the 5 of them. The beast masters of Mida City didn't panic too much when they saw the 5 platinum-grade beast masters being surrounded by countless silver-grade flying-type beasts. After James and the other 5 platinum-grade beast masters left Mida City, the deputy guardian, Cook, took over the command of Mida City. As the large group of gold-grade beasts approached, the entire ground shook. The beast masters standing on the city walls, as well as the ordinary soldiers in the shooting holes, could feel the city walls shaking. Lou felt as if he was stepping on cotton, his body swaying along with the city walls. He was really a little worried that the city walls would collapse directly. Deputy Guardian Cook was dressed in military uniform. His hair was graying, and his figure was a little stooped. However, his expression was solemn and calm as he stood steadily on the city walls. Facing thousands of gold-grade fierce beast troops, he didn't panic in the slightest. The first to appear was still the black gold-armored spiders that were running at the front. "Beast masters, you guys deal with the silver-grade fierce beasts in the air first. If there are any pet beasts that are active underground, you can set them up in advance based on your abilities." In Mida City, the 2 emergency teams began to set up in advance any pet beasts that were active underground. Without even thinking, Lou immediately took out the bloodthirsty hell vine. The blood-red figure of the bloodthirsty hell vine flashed past before landing on the ground. As soon as it touched the ground, it disappeared like a fish that had fallen into the water. At this moment, 5 platinum-grade beast masters broke free from the silver-grade flying beasts. Although they looked a little disheveled, they weren't seriously injured. Facing the approaching black gold-armored spiders, Cook raised his hand and ordered loudly, "All city guards, prepare the energy cannons." Lou took a deep breath, his palms sweating. This was the first time he was facing such a large-scale gold-grade beast horde. Back in Starry City, the bloodthirsty Hellvines formation wasn't this big. Fire! When the black gold-armored spiders entered the shooting range, Deputy Guardian Cook finally shouted, "Fire!" Rumble! 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 A blinding light flashed, and energy cannons were fired. The black gold-armored spiders had already exploded everywhere. The black gold-armored spiders within a 10-meter radius were directly blasted into pieces, and countless black gold-armored spiders were sent flying into the sky. 3 rounds were fired at the same time, and half of the thousands of black gold-armored spiders were lost. A portion of the black gold-armored spiders began to flee in all directions, while the black gold-armored spiders continued to charge toward Mida City. "Stop the bombardment." Cook changed the topic. "I'll have to rely on you guys for the rest. Our platinum-grade crystal cores are limited, so we have to deal with the rock-armored rhinoceroses." All beast masters knew that the black gold-armored spiders weren't the most dangerous ones. Bloodthirsty hell vine, spread the pollen and start spreading the pollen to parasitize humans and pet beasts. At this moment, Luke couldn't just stand by and watch. Over 1,000 rock-armored rhinoceroses, it was too deadly. He even doubted how many of them could be killed by Mida City's energy cannons. Although he was still a little worried about the loyalty of the bloodthirsty hell vine, which fluctuated between high and low, he believed that as long as the bloodthirsty hell vine was smart enough, it wouldn't betray him. More than 20 blood-colored vines stretched out from the ground. On the blood-colored vines, budding buds bloomed, beautiful flowers swayed in the wind, and the blood-red powder quickly dissipated into the air. The beast masters on the city walls of Mida City also noticed the bloodthirsty hell vines' movements, but they didn't pay them any attention. This was because they all knew that those were their comrades' pet beasts. They probably didn't know what methods they had to kill other fierce beasts. Elisa and the rest had already returned to the city wall. Does the commander know? Shouldn't our emergency response team know? Elisa said with a smile, after the Starry City was gone. Brian had already handed over its branch sample and the information about its proven ability to us. You used it once during the last grand competition and were already recognized by the higher-ups of Skylight City. During the last grand competition, it was only a top-tier silver. I didn't expect it to have the strength of a gold tier now. If you don't take it out, I would like to remind you. Lu was already prepared to be exposed, so he did not hide it. I caught it that time. At that time, the bloodthirsty hell vine destroyed Starry City. I was lucky enough to catch one. Considering everyone's emotions, I was too embarrassed to say it. Bloodthirsty hell vine. That's a good name. Elisa nodded. So, did the other bloodthirsty hell vines escape? No, this bloodthirsty hell vine is the only descendant that destroyed the main body of Starry City. I knew it. This kind of terrifying fierce beast cannot be found everywhere. Its ability to spread seeds, can it block those rock-armored rhinoceroses? Fierce beasts with strong physiques need some time. Elisa said in a low voice, then we'll help you buy some time. Of course, you don't have to be too burdened, just try your best. At this time, the group of silver-tier flying-type beasts was already very close to Mida City. On the side of Mida City, a large number of flying-type pet beasts once again flew into the sky. Lu, there's one more thing. I have to explain it to you. Lu looked at Elisa, only to find that her lips did not move. Voice transmission? What is it? You only need to listen. Lu nodded. According to the information, your bloodthirsty hell vine might have emperor-level potential and extremely strong combat talent. Let me tell you, under normal circumstances, any pet beast that has emperor-level potential and extraordinary talent is all proud and arrogant. The greater the growth potential, the stronger the talent, and the more arrogant they are. You must pay attention to learn to get along with them. Don't treat them too well, and don't treat them too badly. I know that the bloodthirsty hell vine of yours has the ability to increase its strength rapidly, but if you want to fully control it, don't let it increase its strength too quickly. Don't let it be too different from your other pet beasts. Don't make it seem like you're relying on it too much. 10 years ago, a 17-year-old platinum-tier genius beastmaster appeared in the northeast. He accidentally obtained a snow domain behemoth with emperor-tier growth potential. That snow domain behemoth eventually defected and killed that genius beastmaster. It's very likely that it was the snow domain behemoth's opinion. His beastmaster wasn't fit to command it. You have to remember that according to the Federation's data, the stronger the growth potential of a pet beast, the greater the chance of it defecting. We beastmasters don't just fight with the body of our pet beasts, we also have to learn how to control their hearts. Elisa gave a long speech, but her hands didn't stop moving at all. She continuously commanded her pet beasts to kill the flying-type fierce beasts in the sky. Of course, Lu's Stormhawk wasn't idle either, frantically harvesting experience. Lu replied, it's a little complicated, but I seem to understand something. Our Captain Banya once said that this is like getting along with a girlfriend. Although I don't agree, you can try to understand it by analogy. Perhaps you'll understand. I don't have a girlfriend, then you'll have to think about it more. There were many silver-tier flying-type beasts, but they also had many gold-tier beastmasters. Many flying-type beasts were killed, and more than half of the flying-type beasts circled around Mida City. Some escaped and flew into the city, but they would still be hunted down by Mida City's silver-tier beastmasters. After resisting the flying-type fierce beasts, the beastmasters on the city walls hadn't even let out a sigh of relief when the black gold armored spiders jumped onto the city walls of Mida City. Although the city walls of Mida City were sturdy and made of steel and concrete, the 8 sharp claws of the black gold armored spiders could easily pierce through the concrete structure of the city walls. With just a few jumps, they appeared on the city walls that were over 100 meters tall. The beastmasters summoned their ground pets to defend against the black gold armored spiders' attacks. Lu summoned the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly to defend against the black gold armored spiders' attacks. Lu summoned the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly to let it reap some experience. Among these black gold armored spiders, there were also a few silver tier ones. There were almost no bronze tier ones. When fleeing for their lives, the black gold armored spiders would definitely fall behind. One punch was enough to destroy a black gold armored spiders. The hard black gold armor on the black gold armored spiders was like paper to Lou. Lou left Elisa. When Elisa saw him break the sharpest pincers of the black gold armored spiders with his bare hands, she felt relieved. The battle on the wall soon reached its climax. All beast masters brought their pets to fight with their lives. As soldiers, they didn't want to let any black gold armored spiders into the city. Every black gold armored spider was a killing machine. Once they entered the city, they could easily kill up to 100 humans. Pet beasts were constantly dismembered, beastmasters died in battle, and many black gold armored spiders were killed. With his powerful defense, Lou was like a tank rampaging on the city wall. Any black gold armored spider he touched would be crushed and trampled flat. A gold-tier beast master from Mida City who was immersed in an intense battle had just killed a black gold armored spider when another black gold armored spider came charging at him from the side. He cursed in his heart. Just as he was about to drag the other party down with him, he saw the black gold armored spider in front of him suddenly retract its two sharp pincers and roll on the ground desperately. The gold-tier beast master didn't even think about it. The cold ice blade in his hand pierced directly into the black gold armored spider's soft abdomen. Has the black gold armored spider gone crazy? However, he didn't think too much about it. He got his pet rock giant elephant to take revenge for him and continued to fight. What he didn't notice was that the black gold armored spider's divine ability that had just died was rapidly weakening. A blood-colored vine gradually appeared. At the same time, the beast masters who were standing on the city walls, fighting with their lives on the line, discovered that many of the black gold armored spiders had lost their ability to fight for no reason, and were rolling around on the ground desperately. At first, they didn't pay much attention to it. They just thought it was a coincidence and went up to finish the job. Lou pretended not to have done such an act of snatching experience, so he didn't have time to remind them. However, when they noticed that the same thing had happened to 2 or 3 black gold armored spiders, they snapped back to their senses. They soon discovered that the bodies of the black gold armored spiders that had been killed were rapidly growing blood-colored plant-type beasts. Those plant-type beasts didn't attack them. Instead, they used their blood-colored vines to entangle the nearby black gold armored spiders. Unfortunately, the sharp claws of the black gold armored spiders found it difficult to cut through the blood-colored vines. This bought precious time for countless beast masters, and also saved many lives. The pollen of the bloodthirsty hell vines was scattered randomly. It was impossible for them to parasitize all the black gold armored spiders. It would be a miracle if they could parasitize even half of them. Someone asked loudly, "What's this?" Obviously, some of them suspected that it was done by their comrades. Elisa had noticed this situation a long time ago. She was only paying attention to it. She ordered loudly, "Don't touch those blood-colored plant-type pet beasts." The group of gold-tier beast masters replied loudly, "All right. I'll protect them and fight them. Aren't these guys too cute? I kind of want to fertilize them." Fertilize them? Forget it. Cute? Are they really cute? Lou's mouth twitched. This group of comrades had never fought a wild bloodthirsty hell vine before. Otherwise, they would know what bloodthirsty was. On the city walls, the morale of the group of gold-tier beast masters was greatly boosted. There were more or less 1 or 2 branches of the gold-tier bloodthirsty hell vines beside them. Aside from the black gold armored spider's powerful defense and 8 sharp claws, what beast masters hated the most was their jumping ability. With the bloodthirsty hell vines sub-strains around them, as long as they trembled a little for 1 or 2 rounds with the black gold armored spiders, the bloodthirsty hell vines around them would stretch out blood-colored vines and bind those damned black gold armored spiders. This was equivalent to having a powerful controlled-type pet beast by their side out of thin air. This undoubtedly greatly increased their combat ability. Very quickly, the south city wall was covered with bloodthirsty hell vines. There were blood-colored vines everywhere. Some of the vines directly climbed onto the city wall. The beautiful blood-colored flowers swayed with the wind. The blood-colored powder fused into the air, and the air was filled with a sweet smell. The surrounding air was dyed a pale pink. "Mommy, look, the flowers on the city wall are so beautiful." A little girl pointed at the blood-red flowers blooming on the south city wall of Mida City and said, "Hide quickly." A black gold armored spider jumped into the city. Before it could start its slaughter, it was killed by the gold-tier pet beast in the air. After all, there were very few fish that escaped the net. Mida City's military had long-term experience in resisting the beast tide. They had long guessed that the beast might invade the city. In the city, they had also set up a gold-tier flight-type beast defense. In addition, at every commanding point in the city, there were well-trained sharpshooters in the military who held sniper rifles and killed the beasts accurately. Although the power of the energy guns was limited, they were still confident that they could hit the eyes of the fierce beasts and other vital parts within 3 shots. When the branches of the bloodthirsty hell vine spread all over the south wall, the black gold armored spiders that jumped onto the city wall were unlucky. It was true that the black gold armored spiders were good at jumping, but they didn't have the ability to turn in the air. Their landing spots were all predictable. In addition to the intentional cooperation of the gold-tier beast masters, the bloodthirsty hellvine could easily tie down one black gold armored spider after another. The gold-tier beast masters who participated in the defense quickly reduced the casualty rate with a single blow with their divine pets. Seeing this situation, James couldn't help but say to Elisa in delight, "Your emergency response team is really full of talents." Lou blew up a black gold armored spiders with one punch and took a look at the city wall. Below the city wall, there were bloodthirsty hell vines everywhere. They formed a vine hell and spread to a distance of 200 meters away from the city wall. The bloodthirsty hell vines had a mythical level talent, the whisper of the earth. They could pass through the soil at will, and their branches would more or less inherit the part of the mother. They could also burrow into the ground, but they could not do it as naturally as the mother. They needed to consume a certain amount of energy. Therefore, the bloodthirsty hell vines under the city wall all burrowed into the ground and only stretched out their vines. If the black gold armored spiders wanted to jump out of the city wall, they would first have to face the dense vine hell. Half of the black gold armored spiders had not even had the time to jump before they were directly entangled by countless vines. Even if the black gold armored spiders were extremely sturdy, they could still be strangled to death once the number of vines was sufficient. Lou's ears were filled with the sound of a system notification. "Ding! Your divine pet, bloodthirsty hellvine, has been upgraded to mid-tier gold. Ding! Your divine pet, rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly, has been upgraded to high-tier silver." The number of black gold armored spiders decreased, and a portion of them began to bypass Mida City. However, the beast masters participating in the defense weren't too happy about it. The tremors on the city walls were getting more and more serious. Lou and the others were waving their sticks after they stood up, as if they were standing on a ship. However, Mida City's city walls were very sturdy. Even with such tremors, they didn't collapse. All the residents of Mida City could feel the tremors, as if an earthquake was about to happen. The citizens of Mida City looked towards the south of the city with worry in their eyes. The civilians who had evacuated from outside Mida City and lived in the streets could only hug their families and huddle in the corners of the streets, praying for the defenders of Mida City, hoping that they could successfully resist the beast tide. At this moment, Lou received a notification from the system mission. "Ding! Mission announcement. Block the rock armor rhinoceroses and defend Mida City. Mission reward. Pet beasts participating in the defensive battle will receive a talent upgrade. Pet beasts without a talent upgrade will receive a matching normal talent." Lou turned around to take a look. His rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly was very safe, lying quietly beside Elisa. On the entire south wall, the 5 platinum-tier beastmasters were the safest. Thus, Lou shamelessly placed the weakest rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly behind Elisa. During the battle, Elisa was also paying attention to protecting it. Over 1,000 rock armor rhinoceroses appeared. The ones charging at the front were all adult rock armor rhinoceroses. Each rock armor rhinoceroses were 4 meters tall, and their bodies were covered in grayish-black rocks. The rocks were like armor, covering their bodies layer by layer, revealing pairs of black eyes. With every step they took, the ground would shake. The bloodthirsty hell vines on the city walls began to crawl. One by one, they jumped down from the high city walls. After smashing into the ground, their bodies began to burrow into the ground. The blood-colored vines in front of Mida City clearly grew denser. Although there were still beast masters who couldn't bear to part with them, when they noticed their actions, they shut their mouths. Looking at the rock armor rhinoceroses charging at them, Elisa said with a grave expression, "After the bombardment, get rid of the beasts in the front row first. We can't let them charge into the city walls. It'll be hard for our city walls to block them. The other 4 spread out beast masters nodded in agreement. Without this city wall, it would be hard for their platinum tier beast masters to get rid of the rock armor rhinoceroses if they were to enter the city. Minta City had evacuated all the poor people from the subsidiary safety zone into the city. The outer city was extremely densely populated, and it would be difficult for powerful platinum tier beast masters like them to do anything in the city. Elisa looked at the dense blood-colored vines on the ground and asked Lou, "Can your bloodthirsty hell vine hold them back?" "It should be able to hold back a portion of them." Lou didn't dare to boast. The bloodthirsty hell vine didn't have the strength talent of the berserk bear. Elisa said, "Try your best to hold them back, all right." Mida City's deputy guardian, Cook, ordered loudly, "Everyone, prepare the energy cannons." The moment the rock armor rhinoceroses entered the firing range, Cook ordered the cannons to fire. Boom! 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 A violent explosion occurred in the entire group of rock armor rhinoceroses. Amidst the explosion, Lou's ears were ringing. In the explosion, the heavy rock armor rhinoceroses were blown 3 to 4 meters away. Some of the rock armor rhinoceroses that were close to the explosion range were directly killed. More of the rock armor rhinoceroses were either blown up by the airwaves or their rock armors were shattered. However, they quickly got up. They continued to charge towards the city wall. The energy cannons of Mida City were lucky enough to blow up 3 or 4 rock armor rhinoceroses. If they were unlucky, they would only blow up 1 or 2 of them. The rock armor rhinoceroses were different from the black gold armored spiders. The black gold armored spiders were smaller in size and moved faster. When they ran together, they stood quite closely together. However, due to the huge size of the rock armor rhinoceroses, each of them was at least 3 to 4 meters away from each other. In addition to the hard armor on their bodies, the result of the energy cannon bombardment was far inferior to the result of the energy cannon bombardment on the black gold armored spiders. However, the energy cannon was not completely ineffective. At least 70 rock armor rhinoceroses were killed by the explosion, causing the charging speed of the entire group of rock armor rhinoceroses to fall. "It's our turn." James took the lead and sat on the Azure Eagle. He immediately mounted 3 platinum-tier pet beasts and placed them in front of the group of rock armor rhinoceroses. There was a hint of sadness in his eyes. "Stop them for me." At the same time, the 4 platinum-tier experts of the emergency response team also released their platinum-tier pet beasts on the ground. The city walls of Mida City could not collapse. This was because the next ones to escape from Orvis Mountain were silver, bronze, and black iron tier beasts. The beasts on Orvis Mountain rampaged from the inside out. The beasts that lived within Orvis Mountain were the first to be attacked by the amethyst rhinoceros. They were the strongest and the fastest to escape. That was why they were the first to escape from Orvis Mountain. For example, the Azure Eagles. The ones who were affected by the fear and began to flee were the low-level beasts on the outskirts of Orvis Mountain. They were definitely not as fast as Platinum Tier and Gold Tier fierce beasts. As such, they were all left behind, with the largest number of beasts. After a long, bitter battle, the 5 Platinum Tier Beast Masters had either lost, injured, or expended a lot of their pet beasts. It was impossible for them to fend off all the low-level beasts behind them. Once the city walls of Mida City collapsed, the low-level fierce beasts behind would most likely swarm into the city. However, the good news for Mida City and the 2 emergency response teams was that there hadn't been any King-tier fierce beasts. King-tier fierce beasts were extremely rare. The Orvis mountain range was so large, and there were so many directions to choose from. Mida City was also unremarkable. The probability of a King-tier fierce beast passing through Mida City was similar to winning the lottery. If they encountered a Star Glory tier fierce beast, it wasn't as if a Platinum tier beast master wouldn't be able to put up a fight. Of course, it would be best if they didn't encounter one. James's Platinum tier rock puppet stood at the front, while the other pet beasts began to attack the rock-armored rhinoceroses crazily. The rock-armored rhinoceroses that had been attacked became even more furious. They accelerated, advancing one after another, charging crazily at the platinum-tier pet beasts. Earth Fisher, behind Elisa, the 3-meter-tall clay pet beast was placed on the ground. Along with the powerful earth energy fluctuation, the ground was torn apart. On the ground, a 10-meter-wide crack was formed. Although the rock-armored rhinoceros was heavy, upon seeing this crack, They could use the charging effect to jump up and easily fly over this ravine. However, when they jumped up, all the flying-type beasts used long-range attacks. Their platinum-level pet beasts had consumed a lot of energy in the continuous battle, but many of the rock-armored rhinoceroses fell into the ravine. Seeing that the rock-armored rhinoceroses were about to land, Elisa ordered again. Earth Swamp. The mud pet beast roared. On the south side of the crack, an area of about 400 meters instantly turned into a soft mud swamp. The more than 20 rock-armored rhinoceroses that were about to land directly plunged into the swamp, splashing mud and water everywhere, unable to move. Just when everyone thought that this would be the end, the other rock-armored rhinoceroses had just landed when an area under their feet turned into a layer of rock, and they continued to run on the swamp. However, their running speed had obviously slowed down. The rock-armored rhinoceroses of Orvis Mountain still live up to their reputation. Alicia shouted, "John, freeze." A white light flashed on the body of an ice moon elf beside John, instantly freezing the entire swamp into ice. The rock-armored rhinoceroses that were running on the rocks were not spared. The ice also covered the rocks under their feet. Almost all of them did not slip on the ground. The other platinum-tier pet beasts took advantage of the situation to attack. However, using such a large-scale skill still consumed a lot of platinum-tier pet beasts. In addition, there were still too many rock-armored rhinoceroses. Their defense was too strong, and they had a stubborn temper. They charged forward without a care for their lives. Although they lost 200 to 300 of them under the siege of platinum-tier pet beasts, they broke through the ice swamp. One of the rock-armored rhinoceroses rammed into the rock puppet, causing the rock puppet to retreat for a distance. However, following that, groups of rock-armored rhinoceroses rammed into the rock puppet, causing the rock puppet to fall to the ground. However, the rock puppet was not seriously injured. It lay on the ground and punched the rock-armored rhinoceroses with its rock fists. One punch could shatter the rock armor on the rock-armored rhinoceroses. 2 punches could seriously injure one. Countless hard rock spikes appeared on the ground and attacked Elisa's platinum-level pet beast. One of the rock-armored rhinoceroses stared at the flying platinum-tier pet beast in the sky with its blood-red eyes. It opened its mouth and shot the sharp rock spikes into the sky. The other rock-armored rhinoceroses also used rock spikes to attack the flying pet beast in the sky. Once the rock spikes formed a scale, they would be like dense arrows. However, James and the others had succeeded. The charging speed of the rock-armored rhinoceroses were not as fast as before. More than 10 rock-armored rhinoceroses jumped through the cracks and broke through the ice swamp. They broke through the encirclement of the flaming wind blades and ran through the layers of obstacles to a blood-red land. Many of the rock armors on their bodies were missing. Some of them were incomplete and their bodies were still scalded with blood. The ground, of course, was not blood-red. It was because there were countless blood-red vines here. The eyes of the rock-armored rhinoceroses were red. They did not care about anything else, and directly rushed into the blood-red vines. The blood-red vines instantly waved, wrapping around their feet and their bodies. One of the rock-armored rhinoceroses encountered an obstacle and struggled forward. 2 gold-tier bloodthirsty hell vines were even forcefully dragged out of the ground by it. However, soon, more blood-red vines tied it up tightly. The rock-armored rhinoceroses let out a loud cry. Pink sprouts began to appear from the wounds on its body. Its blood-red eyes instantly exploded, and more sprouts grew from the bloodthirsty hell vines. The sprouts of the bloodthirsty hell vines began to crazily suck the flesh and blood of the rock-armored rhinoceros. Not long after, the rock-armored rhinoceros was only left with broken rock armor and pink bones. The parasitic creatures in its body slowly devoured its flesh and blood. This kind of death was cruel and painful. The newly born bloodthirsty hell vine once again sprouted flower buds and bloomed beautiful blood-red flowers. The air was filled with a sweet smell. More than 10 rock-armored rhinoceroses never came out once they entered the bloodthirsty hell vine. James and the others took some time to turn their heads. When they saw this scene, their faces were also filled with shock. John took a deep breath and said, "That thing of Luz is like a gold-tier pet beast army. It's very strong in battle." Even their platinum-tier pet beasts found it difficult to defend against more than a dozen rock-armored rhinoceroses that were running at full speed. The battle wasn't over yet. There were more than a dozen rock-armored rhinoceroses that were surrounded by 5 platinum-tier beast masters. However, many of the rock-armored rhinoceroses didn't charge into the sea of blood vines. Instead, they exploded right away. Pink sprouts grew on their injured bodies, but the enraged rock-armored rhinoceroses continued to charge forward. When as many as 30 rock-armored rhinoceroses charged into the bloodvine sea, the branches of the bloodthirsty hell vine began to struggle. Seeing that the distance was about right, Mida City's deputy guardian, Cook, said loudly, "All gold-tier beast masters. Attack the rock-armored rhinoceroses and cooperate in battle. Be careful not to harm the plants." Understood. How could they possibly harm those plants? Countless gold-tier pet beasts landed outside the south city walls of Mida City and began to block the rock-armored rhinoceroses. Many gold-tier pet beasts were injured, but at this moment, beastmasters had no choice. If it was a group of rock-armored rhinoceroses, their gold-tier pet beasts might very well be trampled to death. However, if there weren't many rock-armored rhinoceroses, they would be able to relax a little. Especially since more than half of these rock-armored rhinoceroses were blind. The bloodthirsty hellvine's ability to spread pollen was rather random. The rock-armored rhinoceroses were completely wrapped in stone armor. The strong wind they carried when they ran could easily blow the pollen away. There would always be a portion of the lucky rock-armored rhinoceroses that weren't infected. On the city wall, the gold-tier beast masters began to jump down one after another, cooperating with the bloodthirsty hellvine to kill the rock-armored rhinoceroses. Right at this moment, Lou felt a violent tremor on the city wall. Following that, there was a loud rumble, and John, who was standing not far from him, had a drastic change in expression. "Oh no, the city wall is broken." Lou looked down. A rock-armored rhinoceros that was much larger than its kind had plunged into the city wall. There were also many bloodthirsty hell vines tied to its body. With just a glance, Lou had already detected the strength and talent of the rock-armored rhinoceros. Top-tier gold, it had a rare strength and defense talent. The head of the rock-armored rhinoceros extended into the city wall. The soldiers inside the city wall raised their energy guns and shot at it crazily. However, the energy guns among them were useless. The rock-armored rhinoceros roared loudly and dragged the bloodthirsty hell vines to branch out. It squeezed out a 4-meter-tall hole and directly drilled into the city. The other rock-armored rhinoceroses that had not lost their vision also swarmed toward the hole when they saw the moving mouth. Once a large number of rock-armored rhinoceroses squeezed into the hole would become bigger and bigger. John shouted loudly, "Don't care about that rock-armored rhinoceros. Block the hole first." John was very calm. It did not matter if hundreds of people died. The most important thing was that the city wall could not fall. However, could they really block the entrance of the cave when faced with the rock-armored rhinoceroses that were like a heavy tank? At this moment, Lou, who was standing beside him, turned around and jumped down from the 100-meter-high city wall. Lou saw the rock-armored rhinoceroses stomp down 2 soldiers and start attacking the others. The civilians who lived nearby began to flee frantically. A soldier fell to the ground. Looking at the rock-armored rhinoceros' huge feet, his eyes were filled with despair. At this moment, Lou descended from the sky, violent bare paw. He punched the rock-armored rhinoceros back. The rock-armored rhinoceros armor shattered like glass. Bang! With a loud sound, the sky was filled with shattered rock armor and flesh. Lou stepped on the blood-red ground. The hard concrete ground under his feet had long exploded, exposing the blood-red soil. With one punch, the rock-armored rhinoceroses with strong defense was directly blown up by him and broke into 2 pieces. His military uniform was dyed bright red. His handsome and cold face was also stained with blood, giving him a unique charm. The surrounding soldiers and civilians all stared at him in a daze, forgetting to run away. Such a powerful rock armor rhinoceros was destroyed with a single punch. At this moment, in everyone's eyes, Lou was like a god descending from heaven. "All of you, leave this place to me," Lou roared. The ordinary soldiers and civilians seemed to have woken up from a dream and fled. However, while fleeing for their lives, many of them couldn't help but turn around and look at Lou. They just wanted to look at Lou once more. Perhaps, from today onwards, many of them would never forget Lou. At this time, Lou couldn't care less. He turned around and charged towards the hole that had been created by the rock armor rhinoceros. On the city wall, John was also paying attention to the hole. He saw Lou running towards the hole and shouted, "Lou, leave now. It's very dangerous there." As the commander of the defense, he naturally knew Lu's identity. He also knew that the blood-colored plant-type pets were all Lu's. John was very clear about the strategic value of Lu. Even if the city wall really collapsed, Lu would still be fine. He was still young and had not grown up yet, so he could bring out his greatest value. But Lu could not hear anything. Through the entrance of the cave, he could already see the rock armor rhinoceroses running towards the entrance of the cave. Bang! Bang! Lu ran madly. With every step, the hard cement ground beneath his feet would explode. Just as a 3-meter-tall rock armor rhinoceros extended its upper body out of the city wall, Lu directly crashed into it. The rock armor rhinoceros couldn't withstand Lu's impact and was about to be knocked back. However, at this moment, Lu discovered that the other party didn't retreat. It only screamed in pain, opened its mouth, and spat out blood. It poured blood on Lu's head, then fell to the ground and did not wake up. Back off. Lu's legs plunged into the concrete ground. He hugged the rock armor rhinoceros head and pushed it out. However, at this moment, he felt a huge force coming at him. What was going on? He looked up and realized that his vision was blocked by the rock armor rhinoceros' tall body. On the city wall, John saw more than 10 adult rock armor rhinoceroses blocking the entrance of the cave. They were crazily squeezing towards the entrance of the cave. They thought that as long as they entered the entrance, they would be safe. Lu thought that he was just pushing the corpse of a rock armor rhinoceros. But he could not see that behind the corpse, there was more than 10 adult rock armor rhinoceroses. John couldn't help but gulp when he saw Lu holding a rock armor rhinoceros on his shoulder, blocking more than 10 of them outside the city. What kind of monster-like power was this? Quick, attack those rock armor rhinoceroses, quick. However, almost all beast masters had their own opponents. They couldn't change their targets just because they wanted to. The rock armor rhinoceros in front of Lu was bleeding from all 7 orifices. It was on the verge of death. Sensing the increasing strength from the rock armor rhinoceros, Lu quickly guessed the reason. He made up his mind. Power burst. In an instant, the muscles on Lu's body bulged, and the buttons on his military uniform were torn off one by one. Immediately after, the military uniform on his body was completely torn off, revealing his muscles that were as tough as marble. Soon, the leg of his pants also exploded, open. Lu gritted his teeth and used all his strength to push the rock armor rhinoceros out. His legs were like steel, deeply embedded in the concrete. In front of the rock armor rhinoceros, Lu looked unremarkable. It moved. The rock armor rhinoceros moved. John saw Lu push the rock armor rhinoceros that had disappeared past the city wall. He felt as if he was hallucinating. Many gold-tier beast masters outside the city saw the dozen or so rock armor rhinoceroses crazily charging toward the damaged city wall entrance. The rock armor rhinoceroses that wanted to enter the entrance were slowly retreating. They seemed to have encountered some terrifying ferocious beast and were forcefully pushed out. Their 4 huge legs turned the ground outside the city upside down. One of the rock armor rhinoceroses tripped and fell to the ground, while another fell. They retreated faster and faster, retreating faster and faster. Get lost! With a thunderous roar, over a dozen rock armor rhinoceroses fell to the ground with a loud crash. Then, the over a dozen rock armor rhinoceroses seemed to have bumped into a giant bulldozer as they were forcefully pushed out by the huge force. As the dust settled, many beastmasters saw Lu's blood-red figure. His hands were still pressed against the head of one of the rock armor rhinoceroses. Behind him was an empty entrance. There was no one else but him. Thus, the people who noticed Lu drew in a deep breath. Behind him was an empty entrance. There was no one else, just him. Everyone who noticed Lu drew in a deep breath. A gold-tier beast master had forcefully overthrown over a dozen adult gold-tier rock armor rhinoceroses. Seeing the explosive muscles all over Lu's body, all the beast masters only had one thought: he was a monster. Lu wiped the blood off his face, revealing a mouthful of white teeth. He couldn't help but laugh. He had succeeded. Right at this moment, a rock armor rhinoceros stood up and charged straight at Lu. Be careful! Someone warned loudly. Bang! With a loud bang, Lu was directly pushed against the city wall. Immediately, a beast master sent out their tamed beasts to rescue him. However, at that moment, there was a loud explosion, and the rock armor rhinoceros was sent flying. Lu, who was stuck on the city wall, jumped out, his body intact. His defense is also so insane? Is he even human? At that moment, the rock armor rhinoceros that Lu had pushed down earlier also stood up. They stared at the hole in the city wall and charged over again. However, how could Lu let them get what they wanted? He directly jumped to the entrance of the city wall and shouted loudly as if he was venting, "I'm here. No one is allowed to pass." A rock armor rhinoceroses rushed straight towards Lu. Violent bear paw. Lu jumped up and slapped the head of the rock armor rhinoceroses that was wrapped around the rock armor. Bang! With a loud sound, the rock armor shattered. The rock armor rhinoceros seemed to have crashed into the city wall. Its huge body flipped in the air and fell behind Lu, never to get up again. At the same time, the other rock armor rhinoceroses also rushed over. One man was enough to hold off 10,000 enemies. Under the state of power burst, no rock armor rhinoceroses could withstand Lu's punch. Soon, more than 10 gold-tier rock armor rhinoceroses fell. Their corpses were like a small mountain, blocking the entire hole in the wall. Lu killed all the rock armor rhinoceroses that tried to enter the city through the hole alone. Ding! Your divine pet, Berserk Bear, has leveled up to mid-tier gold. John ordered the soldiers in the city to seal the city wall entrance while they were at it. Brother, you're too strong. A gold-tier beast master of Mida City, who was closest to Lu, shouted loudly. Not bad. The battle continued, but none of the rock armor rhinoceroses could break through the city walls. The city wall of Mida City was very strong. Without a long-distance charge, it would be very difficult for a gold-tier rock armor rhinoceros to break through the city wall. The rock armor rhinoceros that broke through the city wall just now was a special case. Among the thousands of rock armor rhinoceroses, it was normal that there were a few with extraordinary talents. Some of the rock armor rhinoceroses did not rush towards the city wall, but fled around the city wall. They did not care about Lu and the others. As the rock armor rhinoceroses fell to the ground and died one by one, the number of rock armor rhinoceroses that appeared in the sea of blood vines became fewer and fewer. Through the stormhawk that was scouting in the air, Lu knew that the number of rock armor rhinoceroses was already very small. Right now, more than a dozen ferocious giant bears and other gold-tier fierce beasts began to tremble along with Elisa and the rest of their platinum-tier pet beasts. Everyone seemed to have seen the dawn of victory. After killing more than a dozen ferocious giant bears, Lu and the others received their orders. John ordered from the city wall, all gold-tier beast masters, come back and bring the injured. Gold-tier beast masters began to retreat in an orderly manner. Some of the beast masters directly climbed up the city wall with their bare hands, as if they had suction cups in their hands. Some of them had their hands like knives, their fingers directly piercing into the wall as they climbed up. Those who still had flying-type pets might as well let their flying-type pets bring them up. When some people climbed up the city walls, not only did they bring along the injured, but they also carried the corpses of their comrades on their backs. They couldn't bear to leave them outside the city. Brother, can you give me a ride? A black-faced beast master lying in the rock armor rhinoceros corpse shouted. Lu walked up to him in 2 or 3 steps and took a look at his feet. His legs were directly trampled into minced meat by the rock armor rhinoceros. He had to rely on the powerful life force of his pet to survive. Lu picked him up. Hiss, be gentle, be gentle. I'm sorry. It's fine. Tears welled up in the black-faced man's eyes. It's just a little painful. I guess I'll be retiring soon. I'm really a little unhappy. Lu raised his hand, and the stormhawk flew past him. He grabbed the eagle's claws and was brought directly to the city wall. The medical soldiers had been waiting on the city wall for a long time. Lu put the injured man on a stretcher. Seeing the medical soldiers carry away the injured one by one, using body bags to carry away the corpses one by one, Lu felt a little uncomfortable. After the gold-tier beast masters had evacuated, Elisa and the others also retreated. They weren't in a good condition either. James's hair was burning, and Bill's back had been slashed open by something. Even if the others weren't injured, their faces were all pale. The other gold-tier beasts began to approach the city wall. However, there weren't many of them, and they weren't much of a threat to the city wall. They needed to see the city wall of Mida City, so they immediately left. Some of them tried to climb the city wall, but were quickly killed by the beast masters standing on top of it. Lu glanced at the hole in the city wall. Mida City's engineers were doing their best to repair it. He glanced at the area far away from Mida City. Hundreds of rock armor rhinoceroses had appeared, however, they were sprinting into the distance. They had no intention of coming to Mida City. Lu, take a look again. There's indeed a silver tier fierce beast horde. There's a lot of them, Lu added. There's also a black iron tier flying fierce beasts behind them. Are there no more gold tier beasts? Lu said. Very few of them are heading in our direction. We can almost ignore them. They would definitely not care about the beasts in other directions. Elisa heaved a sigh of relief. That's good. John ordered, leave the gold tier beast masters who can fight again. Mida City's silver tier beast masters, come up. A portion of the gold tier beast masters retreated, and over 1,000 silver tier beast masters climbed up the city walls. Their pet beasts were completely useless in the battle just now. Ding! Congratulations to host for completing the mission. The system reward has begun to be distributed. Ding! Your divine pet Stormhawk's peerless Eagle Eye talent has been upgraded to mythical tier talent, Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye. Vision has been greatly enhanced. Vision can easily penetrate through the clouds. There is a high probability of seeing through all sorts of illusion, camouflage and invisibility abilities. Ding! Your divine pet Berserk Bear's rare grade Sniff talent has been upgraded to the peerless Sniff talent. Ding! Your divine pet, Bloodthirsty Hellvine, has received a normal grade talent, Luxuriant Roots. Ding! Your divine pet Rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly's rare grade 5 Senses illusion talent and has been upgraded to the peerless grade 5 Senses illusion talent. Ding! Your divine pet 7-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly has received a rare grade 5 Sense illusion talent and has been upgraded to the peerless grade 5 Sense illusion talent. Ding! Your divine pet rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly's talent has been upgraded. Its growth potential has increased from top-tier Star Glory to low-tier King. The system mission had been completed, and a series of notifications overwhelmed Lu. The Eagle Eye of the Stormhawk had been upgraded to mythical tier. Although the Eagle Eye was still an assisting detection talent, Lu was still very happy. At least it still had special effects. Under certain circumstances, seeing through illusions, disguises, and invisibility abilities were really important. The Berserk Bear's sense of smell was upgraded to the peerless level, which improved Lu's tracking ability by quite a bit. As a plant-type pet beast, the bloodthirsty Hellvine should have obtained quite a good talent, Luxuriant Roots. Luxuriant Roots were very beneficial to plant-type beasts, at least they didn't have to worry about being pulled out of the ground by fierce beasts. The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly's 5 Senses illusion technique had been improved to a peerless level. This would definitely greatly increase its illusion ability. When James saw the black iron flying-type fierce beasts that blotted out the sun, he knew that it would be difficult to stop all the flying-type fierce beasts with just the few of them. Gold-tier beast masters who can still fight with flying-type pet beasts, go to the city and specifically kill the flying-type fierce beasts in the air. Alright. More than 40 gold-tier beast masters left the city walls. Lu had the Stormhawk fly to the sky above Mida City. James's prediction was right. Many bronze tier and black iron tier flying-type fierce beasts broke through their defenses and entered Mida City. However, facing more than 40 gold-tier flying-type beasts, they couldn't do anything at all. Wherever the Stormhawk passed, all the bronze tier and black iron tier fierce beasts fell like a storm. Meanwhile, the over 1,000 silver tier beast masters on the city walls had also completely scattered the silver tier ground-type fierce beasts. When the sky was about to turn dark, the bronze tier and black iron tier ground-type fierce beasts that had escaped from Orvis Mountain didn't even have a thought when they faced the tall and sturdy city walls of Mida City. They directly took a detour. When the last wave of fierce beasts left, many gold-tier beastmasters fell to the ground. In this battle, the ones who fought the hardest were the gold-tier beastmasters. The ones with the highest casualty rate were also gold-tier beastmasters. The black-gold armored spiders and rock armor rhinoceroses that passed by Mida City were too much of a threat. If it weren't for the 4 platinum-tier beastmasters and over 100 gold-tier beastmasters from the emergency response team, Mida City would have been broken open today. Everyone, you've worked hard. Silver-tier beastmasters will rest in groups. Collect the crystal cores first, and all gold-tier beastmasters will rest. The reconnaissance team will investigate the situation around Mida City 24 hours a day. Pay attention to your safety. Lou glanced at Elisa, who nodded at him. Put away your bloodthirsty hellvines and go rest. What about you guys? The 5 platinum tier beastmasters didn't move. We can still hold on. We'll rest on the city walls, Elisa said with a smile. James even moved our tents up here for us. James smiled with a pale face. It's a very luxurious tent. Bill scolded jokingly, get lost, one of my platinum tier pets died. James stretched out 3 fingers and forced a smile. 3 of mine died. His smile was even uglier than crying. He was definitely at the forefront of this defensive battle. Just as Lou was about to retrieve the bloodthirsty hell vine, he heard a system notification. Ding! Your divine pet, bloodthirsty hell vine, has leveled up to high tier gold. The bloodthirsty hell vine kept devouring the subsidiary bodies, and its level rose once again. Speaking of which, the bloodthirsty hell vine's level could at least rise by another level. But it was always being robbed of monsters. When it was cooperating in battle, the gold tier beast masters around it would start attacking the beasts that were trapped the moment they were tied up. Many of the beasts weren't killed by it at all. Bruce, what's wrong? When they went down the city wall, Lou was at the back. Bruce limped in front of him. Are you injured? Bruce nodded. Aren't you going to the hospital? I'm not going today. I'll bear with it for now. The hospital is probably very busy today. I have some healing medicine on me. I'll apply it myself. If you can't bear it, just let me know, it's fine. At the foot of the city wall, the hole had already been repaired. Military cars came one after another to pick up Lou and the others. You've worked hard, thank you. The soldiers of Mida City helped the beast masters of the emergency response team onto the cars, driving very quickly along the way. When they arrived, the cars were a little crowded. When they returned, many people sat directly on the cars, which were a little empty. Some people died while others were hospitalized. Do you want one? No, thank you. It's fine if you don't smoke. It's fine if you don't smoke. The beast master from the 7th team turned over and leaned out of the carriage. When I saw you push away more than 10 rock armor rhinoceroses just now, I felt that you were so handsome. Lou replied solemnly, I don't like men, cough cough. That person began to cough violently. The other people lying in the carriage also started to laugh, but the laughter did not last long. When the military cars stopped, Lou wanted to get up, but he suddenly found that his limbs were weak, and a strong sense of fatigue overwhelmed him. It was as if all the bones in his body had been transferred. Lou remembered that he had used power burst just now. His power had burst out and he had held on for a long time. But people always had their limits. No matter how long they could hold on, there would also be a period of weakness. His body was wet and full of sticky blood. His clothes were not covering his body, and he felt extremely uncomfortable. The carriage door was opened. A member of the emergency team who was still able to move showed off and directly jumped down. However, he lost his balance and fell directly onto the ground. It was extremely uncomfortable. Quick, lift him up. Lou saw 2 strong women jump into the carriage and lift him up. What's wrong? Are you exhausted? Lou nodded. Yes. Do you want to take a bath? A woman shouted. How do I take a bath? We might be able to help. I don't want to take a bath. Then I'll find a man for you, but those men are rough. A man, Lou insisted. Soon, the 2 soldiers helped Lou up. They carried him into the room and took off the tattered clothes on Lou. They put him in a bathtub filled with warm water and helped him wash his body. Is it too troublesome? A young soldier said, It's okay. This is what we should do. Your friends from the emergency response team have worked hard. Lou soaked a bucket of hot water into a blood-red color. After changing 3 buckets of water, he was served by the 2 of them to put on his clothes. They even brought food and fed Lou. We will all stand guard at the door. If you have any requests, just shout. Okay. The lights were turned off and the doors slowly closed. Lou could hear the faint sound of breathing. Lou was overcome with fatigue. He couldn't hold on any longer and fell into a deep sleep. On the south city wall of Mida City, the guardian of Mida City lit a cigarette for the captain of the 10th team, Bill. Sitting on the city wall, James looked at the uneven ground beneath him and said, Elisa, it's all thanks to Lou this time. Vice Captain John added, if it weren't for him, we might have lost half of our gold tier beast masters. If it weren't for him, the city walls might have collapsed. I don't know what kind of pet beast that kid has on him, but he managed to overturn more than 10 rock armor rhinoceroses. I didn't expect his bloodthirsty Hellvine to be so powerful. I know he's very strong, but I didn't expect that kid to still hide a little of his strength. Elisa smiled and looked at James. But our losses this time are still a little big, especially your losses. It will be difficult for you to recover within 2 years, right? It's okay. I can catch some ordinary platinum tier beasts to fight against them. The beasts in Mount Orvis don't riot every day. If they did, I would have moved them away long ago. Bill took a puff of his cigarette and mumbled, if I knew this would happen, I would have asked Captain Banyan to send another emergency team over. The other teams also have missions. Elisa said in a low voice. The 3rd and 8th team went to Upper Chingchong and hasn't returned yet. They're probably going to stay there for a while and haven't returned yet. They're probably going to stay there for a while. 5th and 6th teams lost a lot of people last time, and their strength hasn't recovered yet. The Star Glory Beast Masters of the Special Ops are rarely seen either. They're probably busy with other things as well. Stop talking. It's a headache, Bill spat, interrupting Elisa's words. The next day, Lou woke up early. After a good night's sleep, he looked refreshed. Even the feeling of weakness he felt after using his strength had disappeared. It was probably because of the mythical tier immortal body of the Berserk Bear. He pushed the door open, and the 2 soldiers on duty immediately turned around, looking at Lou in surprise. Lou still remembered these 2. They were the ones who helped him bathe yesterday. You're done? I'm done. Lou walked out of the room and found that there were people standing at the door of the other Beastmasters' rooms. He glanced at Bruce's room. There was no one at the door, and the door seemed to be ajar. Lou pushed the door open and found that there was no one under the bed. Where's the one who lives inside? That one was injured yesterday. He didn't want to go to the hospital, but we persuaded him to go. Not long after, some members of the emergency team opened the door and came out. When they saw Lou, they greeted him with a smile. Lou, I saw that you couldn't even walk steadily yesterday, but today you're full of vigor. You're recovering very quickly. Young people, it's just that your body is good. Young people, how many times can you do it in one night? Don't tease Lou. Be careful that when Lou gets angry, he'll blow your head off. Yesterday, Lou was so fierce, you guys didn't see it. Not long after, the food delivery arrived. With the same sumptuous dishes, Lou squatted under the eaves with a small iron basin and wolfed down the food. He saw that the hand of the senior who teased him just now was shaking. He probably hadn't recovered yet. In the end, it was the other soldiers who fed him. After breakfast, Vice Captain John appeared. The crisis in Mida City has been temporarily resolved. There might be more fierce beasts appearing, but it shouldn't cause any waves. Our 7th and 10th emergency response team can rest here for 10 days. Hearing the vice captain's words, all the members of the emergency team heaved a sigh of relief. Today was a good day. The sun shone on the earth, and it was very warm. After John left, many members of the 7th team who stayed in the camp moved the people in their rooms outside. They basked in the sun and bragged at the same time. They bragged about how brave they were in the battle yesterday. Occasionally, they would mention some of their comrades who had died in front of them. When they mentioned those people, they would all fall silent. Although they were in the emergency team and were used to seeing life and death, when they thought of their comrades, they still felt uncomfortable. Where's Lou? Where did that kid go? That kid was very powerful yesterday. Those blood-colored plant-type beasts are all his. I even saw him flip over more than 10 rock armor rhinoceroses by himself. He was still fine even when the rock armor rhinoceros pushed him against the city wall. That kid isn't here. He went out. On the second day of the defense city of Mida City, Bruce hobbled back. Bruce, you haven't recovered yet, right? Why did you come back? Is it not good over there? Not good? How is it not good? Life over there is good, Bruce said with a laugh. Every day, the beautiful nurses take care of you meticulously. They feed you whatever you want to eat. It's simply a fairy's life. Since it's so comfortable over there, why did you come back? Of course, I missed you guys. That night, Lou asked Bruce why he left the hospital. Bruce sat on a chair and put his leg on another chair. He looked at the stars in the sky and said, "It's too miserable over there." Some people were wrapped up like rice dumplings, some had their arms and legs broken, and some died of serious injuries. They were put in the shroud and taken away. I don't like to stay here. Okay. No one liked that scene. In the next few days, the injured members of the 7th team returned one after another, accompanied by some nurses and a few doctors. There was not enough space in the hospital either. The injuries were controlled, and the slightly injured patients who were gradually getting better were first transferred out of the hospital. Every time a person returned, the members of the 7th team would be very welcoming and happy. However, their way of welcoming them was a little funny. Lu personally saw 2 members of the emergency team jumping and running around in front of a comrade in a wheelchair. The one in the wheelchair was so angry that he almost stood up and fought with them. The medical staff also brought a silver tier green jade sheep with green fur. This green jade sheep didn't have horns and was a ewe. It was good at healing and could promote the healing of wounds. This kind of divine beast that was good at healing and recovery was also extremely rare in the wild. Although they were good at healing, they also lacked the ability to attack, and it was extremely difficult for them to survive in the wild. The major cities within the Illumination Empire's Federation had been consciously breeding green jade sheep, hoping that their population could expand a little, and the effect was not bad. 7 days later, Bruce's injuries were almost healed. In the evening, he was with a few other members of the emergency team, arm in arm. No one knew what they were discussing. "Lu, do you want to go out and have fun?" In the past few days, the management of the emergency team members had been lax. They could go out at night, but they were absolutely not allowed to cause trouble. "What kind of fun are you looking for? What do you think?" "You guys go ahead." Lu realized that the ones who took them out were still the soldiers of Mida City. Bruce and the others only returned on the morning of the 8th day. Bruce lifted a chair and placed it at the door. He sat down directly, and there was still some sleepiness in his eyes. "Are you feeling weak?" Lu smiled and asked him. "How is that possible?" Bruce waved his hand and yawned. "I'm just a little tired, but it's very relaxing." "Aren't you tired? Let me tell you." Before they left, they were not willing to accept money. They said it was free, but am I, Bruce, someone who needs money? Bruce said proudly. I secretly slipped the money under their pillows. Lu saw Bruce's military uniform. He was probably recognized. The emergency response team's military uniform was very special, and there was the word, emergency, on the back. The last time Lu went out, he wanted to buy some pancakes to taste the freshness. The aunt who sold the pancakes refused to accept his money. "Brother Bruce, tell me about your family." "No family." Lu looked at Bruce strangely. "No wife?" Bruce was very old, right? "No wife. I live a carefree life alone," Bruce said with a lonely tone. "It's actually good to have no attachments. Even if I die, no one will be sad. In the past, when one of my brothers died in battle, his wife cried and fainted while hugging his corpse. Ever since then, I've been thinking that it's better to live alone." "I understand." Lu didn't expect a rough man like Bruce to have such delicate and gentle thoughts. Gold-tier beast masters were the backbone of the forces guarding the major headquarter cities. Their treatment was extremely generous. Even if they died in battle, their families could rely on their pensions to secretly spend the rest of their lives with that person. If Bruce wanted a beautiful and gentle wife, it couldn't be any simpler. Even with the help of the bloodthirsty hell vines, the 7th and 10th teams had suffered heavy losses in their pet beasts during the battle in Mida City. A few of them were only left with a single gold-tier pet beast. Of course, compared to their fallen and crippled comrades, they could already be considered to be much luckier. Speaking of which, Lu was the luckiest one. He did not lose any of his pet beasts. On the contrary, his strength had increased greatly. The bloodthirsty hell vine was directly upgraded to high-tier gold. The stormhawk and the berserk bear were upgraded to middle-tier gold. They were not far from high-tier gold. Even the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly had leveled up 2 levels in a row during the battle, becoming a top-tier silver pet. During the battle, the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly had secretly gained quite a bit of experience from being beside beast masters. It was said to have rested for 10 days, but after 10 days, the team didn't set off either. Many of the members of the emergency response team who were seriously injured were still lying in the hospital. Even if some of them were discharged from the hospital, it wasn't suitable for them to travel for long periods of time. In addition, the overall combat strength of the emergency team had declined severely, so the 2 captains of the emergency team decided to wait a few days. Lu couldn't sit still anymore. His body was very healthy. Don't look at how exhausted he was on the day of Mida City's defense battle. But the next day, he had already recovered his strength. So, he took the initiative to apply to leave the city to strangle the fierce beasts. Outside Mida City, there was still a portion of the fierce beasts that had escaped from Orvis Mountain. Before these fierce beasts were eliminated, the civilians living outside Mida City could only stay in the city. The most important thing the beast masters of Mida City had to do was to kill or drive away the fierce beasts that occupied the safe zone. Mida City didn't have the face to trouble the members of the emergency response team with such matters. Lu took the initiative to submit an application to Elisa, and Elisa immediately approved it. She only told Lu to be careful. Sitting on the military vehicle, Lu strolled out of the city. The soldier driving the vehicle smiled and said, "Your emergency team fought so hard last time. Why don't you rest for a few days?" Lu leaned on the sofa and looked at the scenery outside. "I'm a restless person. I feel uncomfortable if I don't kill some fierce beasts every day. Speaking of which, it's all thanks to your emergency team that we can defend Mida City." "It's fine. This is our mission. Getting off the car in a safe town." Lu discovered that there were many military beast masters and mercenary teams in the town. Many beast masters also noticed Lu. There was nothing he could do. Lu was slightly eye-catching. He was handsome and dressed in a clean military uniform, with the rank of captain. Those who were slightly more experienced could tell from the color and style of his military uniform that he was a member of the Skylight City emergency team. "He's from the Skylight City emergency response team, right?" A young mercenary sat in a corner, wiping the energy gun in his hand as he said, "He looks just like a gigolo." With a "paw" sound, the young mercenary was kicked to the ground. He turned around and saw the high-ranking silver-tier beastmaster in his team looking at him with a cold expression. "Brother Wong, why did you kick me? Watch your mouth. The people from the emergency team helped us a lot this time." The silver-tier beastmaster looked at Lu and continued lecturing him. "You have to show them respect, or get out of our team." As Lu walked into the town, two beastmasters in military uniforms came up to him with smiles. They saluted Lu, and Lu followed suit. "Brother, is there a mission? I can't stay in the city any longer. I'm so bored that I want to come out and kill some fierce beasts. Do you guys have any information?" "Yes, of course we do. Come with us. Our command center is right here." Lu quickly obtained a rough map of the distribution of fierce beasts within the jurisdiction of Mida City. This information was confirmed by the military reconnaissance team of Mida City. It was extremely reliable and could save Lu a lot of time. Lu left the town and sat on the Stormhawk. He spread out the map, confirmed the location, and commanded the Stormhawk. The platinum-tier fierce beasts that stayed within the jurisdiction of Mida City were all killed or chased away by the Guardian and the two emergency response team leaders. The rest were gold tier, silver tier, and a large number of black iron tier and bronze tier fierce beasts. Soon, Lu flew to the sky above a small hill and saw the black gold armored spiders that were entrenched on the hill. Those black gold armored spiders were busily drilling in and out of the hole, pushing countless stone fragments out of the hole. They were digging holes and building nests. Near the small hill, there were all cultivated farmland. About 3 li away from here, there was a small village. Therefore, this group of black gold armored spiders could not be left behind. Lu landed near the hill and sneaked up to the mountainside, releasing the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly. The black gold armored spiders were not easy to deal with, especially near the nest. Once they hid in the nest, Lu could only use the bloodthirsty hellvine. After Elisa's reminder last time, Lu did not want to rely too much on the bloodthirsty hellvine. As a member of the emergency team, he would often travel to the big cities in the southwest to solve big problems. The rate at which the bloodthirsty hellvine leveled up couldn't be slowed down. If he wanted to avoid alerting the black gold armored spiders, the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly was a good choice. Non-spirit type fierce beasts were extremely slow to sense spiritual energy fluctuations. It was the same for beast masters. The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly was now a top-tier silver beast. It was only one step away from reaching gold tier. As long as it reached gold tier, Lu's overall combat strength would definitely rise to another level. Ding! Mission issued. Use the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly to eliminate the 45 black gold armored spiders in the nest. Mission success. Immediately raise the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly's talent by 1 level. Lu was very satisfied with this system mission. If it was not a system mission, he would have to do something. However, there were still black gold armored spiders. The number was still a little high, but he now knew how many black gold armored spiders there were. Go and kill those black gold armored spiders. The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly flapped its wings and gently flew to a big tree in the nest of the black gold armored spiders and lay down. The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly, which had a spiritual sense, did not need to know the location of the other party at all. Soon, two low-tier black gold armored spiders that were transporting stone chips outside suddenly fell to the ground and slowly stood up again. The other black gold armored spiders that had just come out did not care at all. At this moment, the two black gold armored spiders controlled by the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterflies suddenly extended their sharp blade legs toward their companions. Ding! Your divine pet, rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly, has killed a silver mid-grade black gold armored spider. Express. 100,000. Ding! Your divine pet, rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly, has killed a silver high-grade black gold armored spider. Express. 300,000. After a few consecutive upgrades, other than the two black gold armored spiders controlled by the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly, all the black gold armored spiders outside the lair had died. The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly with the mythical level spirit domination talent was truly terrifying. Even if it was controlling a fierce beast of a higher level, it would be extremely easy. The cries of the black gold armored spiders before they died immediately caused a commotion among the black gold armored spiders inside the nest. However, because the nest had just been built, the entrance of the cave was narrow, so it could only barely allow two black gold armored spiders to enter and exit at the same time. The two gold-tier black gold armored spiders controlled by the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly stood directly above the cave. If not a single black gold armored spider came out, they would be attacked from above. One black iron, bronze, and silver-tier black gold armored spiders came out, and one died. The saber of a gold-tier black gold armored spider could easily pierce through their black gold armor. At this moment, two larger gold-tier black gold armored spiders jumped out of their nests. As soon as they came out, they were attacked by the two puppet black gold armored spiders controlled by the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly. Ding! Ding! With a crisp sound, the blades of the two puppet black gold armored spiders created sparks on the opponent's black gold armor. They did not break through the defense. The two gold-tier black gold armored spiders began to crazily attack the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly. It was a complete one-sided suppression. Seeing that the two puppets of the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly had lost a few of their sword legs and were about to collapse, the two powerful gold-tier high-grade black gold armored spiders suddenly staggered and fell to the ground in a ridiculous way. However, they soon got up again and stood together with the two puppets of the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly. 4 puppets. The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly flapped its wings slightly and its antennae swayed slightly. The two new top-tier gold puppets killed the two low-tier gold puppets that were heavily injured and could not move properly. Not only did the two black gold armored spiders with broken legs greatly reduce their combat strength, but they also consumed the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly's energy. Killing them was the best choice. Ding! Your divine pet, rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly, has killed a gold low-grade black gold armored spider. Express. 3 million. Ding! Your divine pet, rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly, has killed a gold low-grade black gold armored spider. Express. 3 million. Soon, more black gold armored spiders emerged from the lair, but they were all killed by the two powerful puppets of the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly. When no more black gold armored spiders came out of the nest, the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly let the 3 high-tier black gold armored spiders into the spider nest. Ding! Your divine pet, rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly, has leveled up to low-tier gold. After clearing out the black gold armored spiders in the spider nest, the 3 black gold armored spiders controlled by the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly committed suicide in front of it one by one. From the beginning to the end, the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly had directly eliminated the black gold armored spiders. Its ability was so strange that it made people feel a chill in their hearts. However, at this time, the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly was very tired. Lu knew that the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly had already worked very hard. With the strength of top-tier silver, It was definitely not easy to control 3 top-tier gold-black gold-armored spiders to fight. Dang! The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly has successfully destroyed the 45 black gold-armored spiders in the nest. Mission completed. The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly's normal tier spirit resistance talent has been upgraded to rare tier spirit resistance talent. Dang! Your divine pet rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly's talent has been upgraded. Its growth potential has increased from low-tier king to middle-tier king. Regardless of which talent the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly had upgraded, Lu was happy. With the improvement in the spirit resistance talent, the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly would have a greater advantage when dealing with spirit-type fierce beasts in the future. Speaking of which, the berserk bear also had the spirit resistance talent. After collecting the black gold armored spider's crystal cores, Lu also peeled off the black gold armor of the 3 top-grade gold-black gold armored spiders. Lu also did not give up on the 8 saber legs on their bodies. The materials on the bodies of black iron, bronze, and silver tier fierce beasts were mostly worthless. When the fierce beasts reached gold tier, the materials on their bodies began to be valuable. The 8 saber legs of the black gold armored spiders could also be grinded into knives and daggers. They were very sharp and could easily pierce through almost all silver tier defenses. However, gold-grade sharp weapons, swords, and defensive armor were not of much use to Lu. No sword or blade was as solid as his fist. Swords and blades could be blocked by the fierce beast armor. However, the fist force could not be blocked by ordinary armor. Through the armor, it could still cause great damage to the fierce beasts. The most suitable weapons for Lu were still heavy weapons. For example, cudgels, heavy axes, and heavy hammers. However, Lu's strength was still increasing rapidly with the rapid growth of the berserk bear. If he bought a heavy weapon today, it might feel lighter tomorrow. As for the defensive armor, it was the same principle. The berserk bear's talent was a true combination of offense and defense. Stormhawk, let's go to the next place. Now was a good time to kill gold-tier beasts. If they went to Heping Valley. However, there was no information from the military about the location of gold-tier beasts. 5 days later, the Stormhawk leveled up to top-tier gold, catching up with the bloodthirsty Hellvine. However, at this time, Elisa appeared and announced that the 7th and 10th emergency response teams were going back to Skylight City. Lu did not have anything to be reluctant about. Almost all the gold-tier beasts near Mida City had been killed. He was not the only one who killed gold-tier beasts. Elisa ordered, "The flying pet is still here. Help carry more people." The 2 members of the emergency team had lost a lot of flying pet beasts in that defensive battle. Lu could only rejoice. He was glad that the Stormhawk had a high-altitude reconnaissance mission and didn't need to carry people. The Stormhawk's personality had always been very arrogant. Other than Lu, no one else could touch it. Not even Lu's sister. It was almost impossible for it to carry people unless Lu was ruthless enough to force it. The Stormhawk rose into the air and guarded the 2 returning teams. Lu sat behind Elisa in a daze. Behind him were 17 coffins tied together neatly. The coffins were wrapped in bright Union flags. In each coffin lay a member of Team 7, a comrade that Lu had met more than 10 days ago. On the back of the black gold eagle, Lu and Elisa were somewhat silent. "Captain, after we return, do we have any missions?" Elisa kept looking forward. "For a period of time, there won't be any group missions. There might be small-scale missions that will be distributed. Most of the members can still replenish their pet beasts and recover their strength." Elisa looked at the empty sky and said, "When the time comes, they might still need your help if they want to recover their strength." "My help?" "Yes," Elisa said. "As you know, there are 2 types of Beastmaster's pet beasts. One is hatched from divine beast eggs, and they are nurtured from a young age. The other is captured directly in the wild. The Beastmasters in our emergency team have suffered heavy losses from their pet beasts. After resting for a period of time, if they want to replenish their pet beasts, they can only go to the wild to capture adult pet beasts to form their combat strength." Elisa smiled and said, "Of course, it won't just be you. The other members of our team will have to cooperate and help those members who have suffered heavy losses from their pet beasts." Okay. This mission was likely to slow down the rate at which Lu was leveling up from hunting beasts. But he couldn't postpone it. In his mind, the members of the emergency response team are all heroes. With the eye of the mythical eagle eye, not only did the Stormhawk's vision improve dramatically, it also has the ability to see through illusions, camouflage, invisibility, many powerful beasts that were found in advance by it. On the way back, the two teams didn't encounter any danger. After more than 10 days, they finally made it back to the military camp. At this moment, Lu also saw the captain of the emergency response team, Banya, for the first time. He was an old man in his 50s. He personally welcomed the 7th and 10th teams. In the mausoleum of Skylight City, the remaining members of the 7th emergency team were all present. Amidst solemn and mournful music, 17 gold-tier beastmasters were buried. Lu also saw the grieving family members of his former comrades. He seemed to have understood what Bruce had said to him back then. People always wanted to move on. They couldn't always be immersed in sorrow. This was especially so for the military beastmasters. They had long since become indifferent to life and death. Even Lu, a 16-year-old beastmaster, had become more mature after being baptized by several great battles. After the funeral, Skylight City would naturally reward them with a round of martial arts. Although the casualty rate of Skylight City's emergency response team was quite high, more than half of Skylight City's upper echelons came from the emergency response team. This included the current guardian of Skylight City, General Paul, who was in charge of the Southwest Military Region's affairs. Not only does he have excellent combat talent, but he also has powerful scouting abilities. During the march, he helped the squad leaders avoid risks several times to preserve their combat strength. He was extremely outstanding in the defense of Mida City. Not only did he kill a large number of fierce beasts, greatly reducing the losses of our beastmasters, but he also used his strength to block the 17 adult rock armor rhinoceroses that were about to charge into Mida City, averting the danger of Mida City being breached. Many members of the 7th and 10th team looked at Lu. Of course, they knew who Paul was talking about. Some of them had even been saved by the bloodthirsty Hell Vine. He has received high praise from the guardian of Mida City, James, the deputy guardian, Cook, and the captain and vice captains of the 7th and 10th teams of the emergency response team. After discussion in the Southwest Military Department, Lu, a member of the 7th emergency response team, has been awarded the rank of major in the Southwest Military Department. Lu had the rank of captain to begin with. When he was transferred to the Southwest Military Headquarters, his military rank hadn't changed. Thunderous applause rang out in the hall. Amidst the applause, Lu was a little excited. Paul looked at him with a gratified expression. Come on up. Other than Lu, many other beastmasters were also rewarded for their accumulated battle merits. There was also a collective third-class merit. However, this commendation event also boosted the morale of the 7th and 10th emergency response teams. After returning to the barracks, Bruce patted Lu's shoulder with a smile and said, "It's the first time I've seen such a young major. You're 16 now, right? When you're 40, you might even be a general." The rank of a major was already considered a mid to high rank in the Southwest military. Lu also felt that he had been promoted a little too quickly. The 7th emergency response team was still in the period of rest, and the members' combat strength had not recovered yet. If there were no urgent and important missions, the Southwest military would not have allowed them to move out. Summer had arrived, and the continuous thunderstorms for a few days had affected their trip. Lu simply rested in the villa for 5 days of vacation. When he returned to the 7th team, he was targeted by Captain Elisa. She handed a map of the Heping Valley to Lu. There was a standard red line in the valley. Recently, the breeding season of the boa-type beasts has arrived. At this time of the year, a large number of boa-type beasts will rush to this valley marked on the red line. Elisa continued, the members of the 7th team urgently need to replenish a large number of gold-tier pet beasts. Boa-type beasts are a good target. There are also 10 members of the team who expressed their desire to obtain boa-type beasts. Boa-type fierce beasts were usually large in size and powerful in strength. They were tough and resistant. They were very suitable to be used for survival or as the front row of a battle. Lu pointed at himself and asked, "I'll lead the team?" "That's right. You'll lead the team," Elisa said. "Whether it's in terms of strength, ability, or military rank, you're qualified to lead the team. What you need now is experience." "Alright, I'll make sure to complete the mission. Be careful. You can only capture them from the outside. Don't attack them within 100 kilometers of this canyon. There are also powerful boa-type fierce beasts sleeping in the canyon. You must be careful. Elisa reminded him, every gold tier beast master is very important to our emergency team. You have to understand. I got it. After Lu accepted the mission, he received another system notification. Ding, help 10 members of the emergency response team catch 10 gold tier beasts. Mission reward. The host can receive a talent point that can increase a pet's talent by 1 level. Hearing this system notification, Lu was even more satisfied. He loved doing missions the most. Under Elisa's arrangement, Lu quickly met the 10 members of the team who wanted to own a gold tier boa pet. Among the 10, Lu saw Bruce. Elisa said with a straight face, Lu will be leading the team on this mission. You must listen to his orders, understand? Yes. The 10 gold tier beast masters replied in unison. Lu's combat and reconnaissance abilities were obvious to everyone. The entire team knew that he had single-handedly overpowered more than 10 rock armor rhinoceroses. Although Lu was young, everyone knew that he already had the combat abilities of a top gold tier beast master. In addition to his powerful reconnaissance abilities, he was the kind of teammate that all the members wanted the most. Lu straightened his back as well, the expression on his face turning serious. As the team leader, his responsibility wasn't just to help capture the pet beasts. He also had to take responsibility for their safety, bringing them back safely and intact. Alright, take advantage of the few days when the thunderstorm is over. You guys can set off now. Walking out of Elisa's office, Lu said simply, half an hour to prepare. We'll gather at the entrance in half an hour. 10 gold tier beast masters rushed to their barracks to pack up their things. A member of Team 7 smiled. I feel that kid, Lu, really has some dignity when he gets serious. Bruce asked back, why? Are you not convinced? The member of Team 7 said shyly. That's not it. Last time in Mida City, his bloodthirsty Hellvine saved my life. I'm just not used to it. He looks too young. Bruce also nodded. Actually, I'm not used to it either. But I think we will get used to it in the future. We should listen to him. This time, he is indeed suitable to lead the team to capture the pet beasts. Without him, we don't know how much time we will spend. Lu was waiting for them outside the door. In just 10 minutes, the 10 members of the 7th team had gathered at the door. Let's go. After leaving the camp, Lu immediately released the Stormhawk. The Stormhawk flew high up into the sky, directly disappearing into the clouds. The other 10 beast masters looked at the Stormhawk enviously, releasing 6 gold tier flying type pets one after another. Captain, do you want to sit on my Azure Eagle? Bruce took the initiative to ask. Lu's Stormhawk had always been scouting high up in the sky. An ordinary gold tier flying type pet beast wouldn't be able to fly so high up in the sky. Lu could only follow the main group and remotely control the Stormhawk. Bruce's Azure Eagle had a docile personality. It didn't reject Lu. Lu sat on the back of the Azure Eagle. After identifying the direction, he immediately ordered the team to come out. The Azure Eagle flew at the front. Behind him were 5 gold tier flying type pets, along with 9 gold tier beast masters. They flew past the safety zone of Skylight City, past the reclaimed fields. On the way, Lu and the others met other beast masters. Everyone just nodded to each other and hurried past them. As the group entered Heping Valley, all the beast masters had solemn expressions on their faces. Lu continued to look at the map and determine the direction, heading towards that valley. 2 days later, they broke through the outskirts of Heping Valley and continued deeper into the valley. Descend. There's a flock of soaring sparrows flying over. Alright. The 11 beast masters all descended to the ground. The 10 gold tier beast masters were somewhat glad. Although the soaring sparrows were silver tier flying type fierce beasts, they came in groups and weren't to be trifled with. On their side, the 5 gold tier flying type divine beasts were all carrying people. It wouldn't be good for either side if they fought. However, they forgot that Lu still had a Stormhawk that wasn't carrying any weight. A black shadow flashed across the sky, and the Stormhawk directly fell from the sky. The soaring sparrow flock didn't have time to react before the Stormhawk pounced on them. The Stormhawk spread its extremely sharp wings. All the soaring sparrows that came into contact with it were instantly sliced into pieces. With just a few jumps from the black shadow, the blood and feathers of the soaring sparrows flew all over the sky. If it was an ordinary gold tier flying type fierce beast that came across hundreds of silver tier fierce beasts, the gold tier fierce beasts would definitely not dare to provoke it. However, Lu's Stormhawk was just too powerful. In just a few breaths, over 100 silver tier beasts were completely annihilated. After killing all the soaring sparrows, the Stormhawk soared into the sky and disappeared into the vast horizon. Hearing a series of system experience points notifications, Lu smiled. When doing missions, he could still find time to level up his pet beast. What was that just now? Over 100 soaring sparrows were gone in an instant. I didn't see it clearly either. It's really dangerous in the depths of Heping Valley. Captain, did you see your Stormhawk? Seeing that someone was asking him, Lu said directly, "That's my Stormhawk." Ah, Lu nodded seriously. It's faster. It's normal that you guys didn't see it clearly. At this moment, Lu had no intention of hiding it. In any case, they would all be able to see it if they fought together in the future. Lu said, "Let's go. Let's keep moving, alright." The 10 gold tier beast masters looked at Lu's back with solemn expressions. They knew very well that with the Stormhawk's speed, they, as gold tier beast masters, could very well be killed instantly. Its speed was too fast. It was so fast that they couldn't even see it clearly. With the Stormhawk's high-altitude reconnaissance and the Berserk Bear's sense of danger, the 10 beast masters were safely brought to a desolate forest 130 li away from the canyon by Lu. There aren't any gold tier fierce beasts nearby. You guys rest here for a while. I'll follow the Stormhawk to help you find your target. Alright, be careful, leader. After Lu left, the 2 beast masters released their flight-type pet beasts to be on guard. The others sat down. I really don't have to worry about following Lu. I didn't encounter anything. That's right. 3 years ago, I came here too. At that time, I ran into a black gold eagle, and quite a few people died. No wonder Big Captain Elisa asked Lu to bring us here. Lu stood on the Stormhawk and soon discovered a gold-tier Herculean boa. After taking a look at the data of the Herculean boa, he jumped down from the eagle's back and stomped on the Herculean boa into 2 pieces. There was no other reason. This was because the Herculean boa had no talent at all and its skills were rather rubbish. During these few days of traveling, the members of the party were very obedient to Lu's orders. This made Lu very satisfied. In the future, everyone would be comrades who fought together in the trenches. Lu wanted to help them find some pet beasts with good talent. Beasts that were too mediocre, it was better to forget about them. Lu could also upgrade his pet beasts at the same time. The boa-type beasts were breeding period, and with the presence of the Stormhawk, he was not afraid of wasting time. Besides, how could it be considered a waste of time to improve the strength of his pet beasts? After killing another 7 or 8 Herculean boas, Lu finally found a gold mid-grade Herculean boa with 2 normal talents. That Herculean boa crawled straight towards the direction of the canyon. Lu immediately went back to find his team members. Let's go. I found a Herculean boa that looks pretty good. It's a middle-tier gold. See who wants it. When the 10 party members saw that Lu's body was covered in blood, they did not ask anything. They just sat on their flying-type pet and followed him. Of course, the Herculean boa could not outrun a gold-tier flying-type pet. Soon, Lu and the rest stood above the Herculean boa. Lu calmly and objectively evaluated. This gold mid-tier Herculean boa is much bigger than ordinary Herculean boa of the same level. Its strength should be a little stronger. I think it's pretty good. After Lu's reminder, the 10 members of the team also saw how outstanding the Herculean boa was. Everyone was a little tempted. Let me do it. A mid-tier gold beast master said. This Herculean boa happened to be within the range of the contract he had signed. Lu nodded. Then be careful. This Herculean boa isn't easy to deal with. Alright. If a beast master wanted to tame an adult fierce beast, it was best to do it personally. If others helped, even if they signed a contract with a fierce beast, their initial loyalty would be very low, and it would be very easy for them to defect. Fierce beasts were more willing to submit to beastmasters who had displayed their powerful strength. Seeing that beastmaster riding a gold mid-tier black feathered wind eagle and charging towards the Herculean boa, Lu wasn't too worried. Flying-type pet beasts really had the advantage. The 9 of you, keep your guard up. I'll continue to help you find the other gold-tier fierce beasts. Alright, Captain. Seeing Lu leave, the 9 members of the emergency response team looked at their comrade who was fighting the Herculean boa and said softly, "This Colin is really lucky. This Herculean boa is indeed much stronger than an ordinary mid-tier gold Herculean boas. My reaction was too slow just now. Otherwise, I wouldn't have let Colin off so easily. I hope Captain can find a few more of such excellent beasts. Impossible. There are very few of such excellent fierce beasts. More than an hour later, Lu rushed over again. His military uniform was dyed red. When he returned, the battle between Colin and the Herculean boa had already ended. With the help of 2 middle-tier gold pet beasts, he had successfully defeated the Herculean boa and signed a contract with it. Captain, did you find anything? A smile appeared on Lu's face. I met a big fellow that felt pretty good. It's a high-tier gold. I think you'll like it. Let's go. That black forest boa was covered in black scales. What caught people's attention was that this black python was 1/3 thicker than an ordinary high-tier gold black forest boas. There were quite a lot of boa-type fierce beasts heading towards the canyon. Lu had killed more than 10 gold-tier boa-type fierce beasts before meeting this black python that had a rare large-size talent. A large size usually meant great strength and defense. The remaining 9 members of the team were all moved. Who wants this black forest boa? Me. I want it. 2 members who were qualified to sign a contract with a high-tier gold beast stepped forward. One of them was Bruce. That person thought for a moment when he saw Bruce and said, "Forget it, I'll give it to Bruce." Bruce laughed and said, "Thank you. After we return to the city, I'll treat you to a drink." "Then let's go with Bruce," Lu said. "I'll help you look for more." "Thank you, Captain." The 9 members of the emergency response team began to help Bruce keep an eye out. They kept an eye out for the situation around them as they whispered, "Do you think our captain can find a few more powerful fierce beasts?" "How is that possible? Our captain isn't a god." 2 hours later, Lu appeared again. His sleeves were dyed red. He smiled and said to the 10 team members, "There's a new discovery. I met a rock python. It's a mid-tier gold. I think its defense is pretty good." Lu brought the team members to the sky above the rock python. He evaluated it seriously. Look at the fine-grained rock armor on its body. It's still reflecting light under the sun. It's even bigger than its kind. When it crawls, you can hear the sound of its body colliding with the rock. The rock armor on its body should be very thick. The 10 members of the team followed Lu's train of thought and observed the rock python. They nodded as if they understood something. "I think it's not bad. Its defense should be very strong. Which one of you wants it?" "I'll do it. I'll continue to look for it. The rest of you are responsible for guarding." After Lu left, the people on guard took a look at the battle. Then, they realized that the rock python's defense was indeed very strong. Even 1 or 2 wind blades could not break through its surface defense. Everyone looked at each other. Right now, they only had one thought in their minds. Lu's battle eyesight is really good. Maybe he has the talent of an appraiser. Ding! Host has successfully helped 10 members of the emergency response team capture 10 gold-tier fierce beasts. Mission completed. The host has obtained a talent point that can increase the talent of any pet beast by 1 level. After dragging on for 5 days, the 10 members of the team had all obtained new gold-tier pets. The 10 members of the team were very satisfied. During this process, Lu had also helped them find some other strong gold-tier pets. Of course, when choosing a boa-type fierce beast, Lu did not dare to be too obvious. Most of the time, he chose ones that were bigger and more prominent. In the world of fierce beasts, being bigger was an advantage. The Stormhawk's observational ability was too strong. When it flew up into the clouds, it could see a large number of boa-type fierce beasts within a radius of hundreds of kilometers. "Captain, thank you so much." "That's right. I'm very satisfied with that Herculean boa. My black forest boa is pretty good too. Captain, your taste is too good. You should become an appraiser." It wasn't that the gold-tier beast masters in the emergency response team hadn't seen the world, nor had they seen any outstanding gold-tier pet beasts. It was just that they often engaged in high-intensity battles, and the pet beasts they had suffered severe losses. Even if it was a pet beast with talent, it could still die in battle in their hands at any time. They usually only had 1 or 2 outstanding pet beasts in their hands, and the other pet beasts would often change. It was really important that Lu could help them find some pet beasts with good talent. At the critical moment, with an excellent pet beast, their lives would be guaranteed. "I definitely don't have the qualification to be an appraiser. It's a good time for you guys. There are gold-tier boa constrictors everywhere." Lu smiled and said, "Anyway, I'll tell the Stormhawk to pick a big one for you guys. The bigger the better." Bruce laughed and said, "Yeah, Captain is right. We like the big ones. Captain's bird is very big." Lu taught them the secret of picking the fierce beasts. The members of his team all admitted that Lu's observational ability was very strong, but not to the extent of being ridiculously strong. After all, they also understood the principle that the bigger the size, the stronger the combat power. It was just that they did not have a strong pet like the Stormhawk, so it was difficult for them to find pets that were bigger in size. However, they could tell that Lu was very serious in helping them choose their pet beasts. In fact, he was even a little harsh on them, choosing only the larger ones for them. The 10 gold tier beast masters were very grateful to him in their hearts. As they led their team out of Heping Valley, a silver tier iron-beaked crane flew towards them. Lu took out a silver tier crystal core from his spatial bag and threw it fiercely at the iron-beaked crane. The crystal core Lu threw was like a cannonball, shooting at the crane. Bang! With a loud sound, the silver-grade iron-beaked crane was smashed into minced meat and fell to the ground. The Azure Eagle, which Lu stepped on, was pushed down 10 meters by the reaction force and almost fell from the sky. Dang! Your divine pet, Berserk Bear, has killed a silver mid-tier iron-beaked crane. Express, 1 million. Hearing the notification, Lu was satisfied. He was just a little bit away from leveling up, which made him feel very uncomfortable. Bruce's Azure Eagle turned back to look at Lu, who was riding on its back, and then looked at Bruce with a very wronged expression. Just now, when Lu smashed a silver-tier fierce beast with a crystal core, the Azure Eagle felt that it definitely could not afford to provoke him. Bruce comforted and touched the Azure Eagle's feathers, telling it not to feel too wronged. After receiving Bruce's comfort, the Azure Eagle was in a much better mood. It flapped its wings and flew to the front of the group again. After bypassing some dangerous beasts again, Lu flew out of Heping Valley with 10 members of the emergency team. They saw large areas of farmland and scattered villages. The 10 members of the emergency team relaxed. After wandering in Heping Valley for more than 10 days, their nerves were a little tense. When they returned to the camp of the emergency team and stepped on the solid concrete ground, all the members of the team smiled. Lu asked the guard at the door. Captain Elisa had returned. He said to the other team members, "You guys go back and rest. I'll report to the captain." Okay. After the team members left, Lu knocked on Elisa's office building. "You're back?" Elisa put down the document in her hand when she saw that it was Lu who had returned. "How was it? Was the journey safe? No danger? Everything went smoothly. The mission was completed without any casualties." "That's great." Elisa nodded and said, "It's not a big problem whether the mission of capturing fierce beasts is completed or not. The most important thing is that there shouldn't be any casualties. Every gold tier beastmaster is a valuable asset to our emergency team." Right, you might have to be busy these days." Lu asked curiously, "What's wrong?" Elisa sighed helplessly. "There's a problem with Vice Captain John." "What problem?" On the way he led the team to capture fierce beasts, they encountered a Star Glory tier flying type fierce beast. He was seriously injured and is still lying in the hospital. However, his life isn't in danger. Because of his hard work protecting them, he only lost one member of the team. Lu was silent. In fact, during the process of going deep into Orvis Mountain, the Stormhawk had already found a few Star Glory tier fierce beasts. However, those Star Glory tier fierce beasts were either just passing by, or they were discovered by the Stormhawk in advance and informed Lu's team to retreat in time. The Eagle Eye was very practical in the wild environment. After the last defense battle in Mida City, the pet beast in Vice Captain John's hand might not have been replenished, and his strength might not have recovered yet. "I understand. Then you should rest for a few days. I've already asked the military to find a suitable place for the fierce beasts to gather." "Yes, I'll do my best." After leaving the office of Captain Elisa, Lu returned to the military camp. As soon as he entered the camp, Lu saw a huge black forest boa entrenched in the square in the center of the camp. The eyes of the more than 10 members of the emergency team who surrounded the black forest boa were shining. Bruce patted the black forest boa's hard scales and said, "Look, this is my harvest. Isn't it big?" Lu said that big is good, big is great. A group of members of the emergency team said enviously, "Bruce, you're lucky to have met this. This black forest boa looks like it can fight very well." "That's right, possessing it might also make you safer." Most of the emergency team members were men. They had 3 hobbies: pet beasts, women, and bragging. Bruce laughed and said, "This is nothing. Let me tell you, our team went out this time, and almost everyone had a big harvest. If you don't believe me, you can ask the others. The divine beasts in their hands are also very big and strong. Colin, take out your Herculean boa and show it to everyone." Bruce immediately put the Black Forest boa away. The other members of the emergency team looked at Colin, who generously showed them the gold mid-grade Herculean boa. This made the other Beastmasters extremely envious. Colin smiled and said, "Lou's Stormhawk has very good eyesight. He got the Stormhawk to specially look for us. Most of the beasts in our team are bigger than ordinary beasts of the same level." A member of the team agreed, "It's better if they are bigger. The bigger they are, the more powerful they are. In fact, the bigger they were, the less powerful they might be." However, in most cases, this standard was still very applicable. A member of the team asked with concern, "Did you encounter any danger after entering Heping Valley?" Colin shook his head. "No, it was very safe. Even if you were injured, it was during the taming of the fierce beasts. I'm really envious of you guys. If I had known earlier, I would have gone with you guys." After Lou returned to his room, he lay on his bed and did not want to move. It was his first time leading a team. He had roamed the Heping Valley for over 10 days. Every day, he had to eat and sleep in the open, and he was still tensed up. Now that he had returned to the military camp, fatigue struck him instantly. In a daze, he fell asleep. After waking up, he felt much better. Then, he remembered about the mission reward. He could now point to any of the pet's talents to increase by 1 level. Lou was more inclined to increase the pet's peerless talent. By increasing it by 1 level, it would directly become a myth tier, which could greatly increase the pet's strength. Currently, the peerless talents he had were the Berserk Bear's sensitive sense of smell, and the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly's 5 senses illusion. After a slight hesitation, Lou chose the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly. The peerless sensitive sense of smell was already very powerful, and he didn't need to improve his sense of smell. Dang, your divine pet rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly's peerless 5 senses illusion has been upgraded to mythical level. Dang, your divine pet rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly's talent has been upgraded, and its growth potential has increased from middle-tier king to top-tier king. 5 senses illusion, myth. This pet's ability to use 5 senses illusion has greatly increased its influence. It can change the enemy's vision, hearing, touch, smell, and taste. It can also construct a perfect illusion world that targets the enemy's mind. A perfect illusion world that targets the enemy's mind. Lou released the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly. After the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly advanced to gold rank, its body grew a little bigger. When it fully opened its wings, it could occupy more than half of Lou's room. However, compared to the other gold-tier rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly that Lou saw in Clearwind City, this one of Lou's was a little small. The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly lay on Lou's bed, looking at him quietly with a pair of big black eyes. Lou touched its 2 tentacles, which immediately retracted. "Come, let me experience the 5 senses illusion and build a world that I want." The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly nodded. Lou lay on the bed and closed his eyes. After a wave of obscure spiritual energy fluctuations, when Lou opened his eyes again, he came to a bustling street. The street was full of traffic and people coming and going. He saw all kinds of familiar but strange shops, internet cafes, huge posters, huge LCD screens, and obviously familiar roving exhibitions. He touched his face. He was wearing a mask. He took out his phone and hailed a taxi. The taxi drove along the familiar road. He took out the key in his pocket and slowly opened the door. He saw the familiar figure. When Lou woke up, there were still tears in his eyes. He sighed in a low voice, "What a perfect world, so perfect that I don't want to wake up." However, after this experiment, Lou finally understood the ability of the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly to construct a perfect world. The perfect world it constructed was directly aimed at the soul. This kind of illusion had almost no flaws. Everything seemed real. It could make people with weak wills sink into an illusory world, unable to extricate themselves. "If I want a few beauties, can you help me create an illusory world?" The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly tilted its head and looked at him. It was also at this moment that Lu heard the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly's mental communication. The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly told him that as long as he thought about it in his heart, it could help Lu create a perfect illusion. I'm just kidding. Lu was terrified. He was not that crazy. When they were eating in the cafeteria, many members of the 7th team greeted Lu warmly. Lu could feel that his status seemed to have risen a lot. After resting in the camp for 2 days, Lu was once again recruited by Elisa. There are 13 members of the team who want to catch black gold armored spiders, Elisa said directly. The military has provided us with 3 nests of black gold armored spiders. John is not back yet, and I have other people that can lead. I'll have to trouble you this time. No problem. Lu did not decline. He had long been mentally prepared. The black gold armored spiders were quite agile. They were good at jumping, and their 8 blades were extremely sharp. They were quite excellent close combat pets. Most importantly, they were widely distributed in the southwest region, and they lived in groups. Gold-tier fierce beasts that lived in groups were relatively rare. In one mission, they could solve the pet problem for a large number of emergency response team members. Like the Herculean boa, it was a solitary creature. If it was not during the breeding season, they would not be easy to catch. He could also kill gold-tier fierce beasts to increase his strength. Dang it. Help the 13 emergency response team members capture 13 gold-tier black gold armored spiders. Mission reward. The host can designate a pet beast and let the pet beast comprehend a skill that fits the pet's attribute talent. Hearing the system quest, Lu was delighted again. However, the reward this time was a little special. It was for the pet beast to comprehend powerful skills. Fierce beasts were the same as divine pets. Most of them had comprehended skills through continuous battles. Experts believed that this kind of skill came from the bloodline of fierce beasts and needed to be stimulated through continuous battles. The more skills the pet beast learned, the better it was. If they were lucky, they might even be able to comprehend some of the more powerful skills. For example, the explosive power of the berserk bear. Following Elisa's mission, Lu soon met with 13 members of the emergency team. Among them were Bruce and Colin. It seemed that they had lost at least 2 gold-tier beasts in the last battle. Captain. Hello, everyone. Get ready. We'll set off in half an hour. Yes. The 13 gold-tier beast masters were all packed up in 5 minutes and appeared in front of Lu. Even Lu felt that it was a little exaggerated to gather like this. After all, the management of the members of an ordinary emergency response team was relatively lax. However, seeing that everyone was full of energy, Lu was happy as well. After registering, Lu sat on Bruce's azure eagle and rushed to the nest of the black gold armored spiders. This time, their destination was not Heping Valley. With the high-altitude reconnaissance of the Stormhawk, after flying for 7 days, Lu and the rest finally arrived at the first black gold armored spider nest. 1,000 meters away from the nest, a gold-tier black gold armored spider unintentionally approached Lu and the rest. Without thinking, Lu jumped up and killed them with one punch. Dang, your divine pet, berserk bear, has killed a gold mid-tier black gold armored spider. Express, 10 million. Captain, why did you kill it? Yes, Captain. Lu said casually, this black gold armored spider can't even take a single punch from me. It must be useless. It won't be of much help in improving your combat power. Everyone looked at each other in silence. Lu's strange strength could even withstand a rock-armored rhinoceros, let alone a black gold armored spider. Soon, the nearby black gold armored spider heard the noise and ran over. In the end, they were all killed by Lu's punch. When everyone saw Lu's violent actions, they didn't even dare to say a word. He was really too strong. Even a top-tier gold fierce beast couldn't withstand a casual punch from Lu. After killing more than 20 black gold armored spider, just when everyone thought that Lu was going to continue killing, Lu suddenly pointed at a black gold armored spider and said, "That one, look at that one. That one looks pretty good." Everyone looked over. They did not see anything special about an ordinary top-tier black gold armored spider. It was the same as the other black gold armored spider that had died in Lu's hands. Lu reminded them, "Look, its blade legs are moving on the rock wall. Is it stabbing deeper?" Lu could see through the detailed information of fierce beasts and knew about the black gold armored spider's talent. Naturally, he could deduce it from the back. That black gold armored spider had an ordinary sharp blade legs talent, so its attack power was stronger. Some members of the team observed it and indeed saw some clues. Either it's heavier than the other top-tier black gold armored spider, or its knife foot is sharper. Which one of you wants it? The captain has good taste, but it seems to be running away. It was scared by the captain. Lu smiled and said, "Don't worry, he won't be able to escape." The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly appeared beside him. Lu pointed at the black gold armored spider that was running away on the rock wall and said to the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly, "Let it come over. Don't let your mind control it. Just use an illusion." The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly nodded. Then, everyone saw that the black gold armored spider that was planning to escape turned around twice and ran in their direction. "Who wants it? I'll do it." Bruce stood up. "The rest of you, back off." When the black gold armored spider ran in front of Bruce, Lu had the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly dispel the illusion. Bruce released the black forest boa and, together with the azure eagle, easily subdued the black gold armored spider. Lying on the crown of a tree far away from the black gold armored spider, everyone saw that there were many black gold armored spiders surrounding the nest. Lu pointed at the entrance of the nest and said, "That one, squatting on the rock, I think it's very strong." "Captain, how did you see it? It stood tall and seemed to be very arrogant. I saw the light in its eyes. But they are so close to the nest. Once we get close, we might be surrounded, and they might escape." Lu turned to the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly lying on the tree trunk and said, "Tell that black gold armored spider on the rock to come over." Soon, the members of the team saw that the black gold armored spider on the rock seemed to have seen delicious food. It jumped up from the rock and with a few jumps and burrowed into the bushes where they were. It was lying on the ground and gnawing on a piece of wood. Its eyes were intoxicated, as if it was tasting a supreme delicacy. Poor guy. It was clearly a ferocious carnivorous gold-tier beast. Now, it was actually hugging a piece of rotten wood and gnawing on it with a look of relish. All the members of the team looked at Lu's beautiful rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly. It was too terrifying to pull a gold top-tier beast into an illusion so easily. If the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly were to deal with them, they would most likely not be able to escape. "What are you still standing there for? Don't you want it?" "Yes." The team members successfully captured another black gold armored spider. "Captain, now there are two more. Those two don't look very strong. Rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly, kill them." The two black gold armored spiders stabbed their sharp blades into their soft abdomen. More than 10 team members swallowed a mouthful of saliva. "Dang! Your divine pet, rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly, has been upgraded to middle-tier gold." After 7 days, all 13 gold-tier black gold armored spiders that the party members needed had been gathered. None of the 13 party members were dissatisfied. After receiving the notification that the mission had been completed, Lu did not hesitate and immediately chose to let the Berserk Bear comprehend a skill to try. The Berserk Bear had learned a new skill, and he could use it as well. "Dang! Your divine pet, Berserk Bear has learned a skill, Earth-Shaking Mountain." Earth-Shaking Mountain. When this pet beast stomps on the ground, it will form a powerful shockwave that will cause the surrounding land to shake violently. If it is strong enough, it can bounce up the surrounding enemies and even cause a large-scale collapse of the ground. Lu looked at the system's introduction of this skill seriously. This skill not only required the Earth attribute, but also a powerful strength. It was indeed tailor-made for the Berserk Bear. Moreover, Lu felt that this skill was quite cool and suitable for him. After returning to the 7th party, Elisa was very satisfied with Lu's mission completion rate. "Oh right, your family has been brought to Skylight City a few days ago. You can go back and take a look." Lu was pleasantly surprised. "Really? Yes. Go back and take a look." Elisa smiled. "It's been hard on you these few days. I'll give you 3 days of vacation." "Thank you, Captain." After returning to the inner city of Skylight City by military vehicle, Lu went straight to the villa. Just as he pushed the door open, Lu saw Hestia fighting with the maid for the mop. "Auntie," seeing Lu, she immediately let go of the mop. "Auntie, what are you doing? I have nothing to do. I just want to mop the floor, but she won't let me." The maid looked at him with some grievance. "Are you still used to living here these few days?" She said helplessly, I'm still not used to it. There was a vegetable field in 7-Star City. I've scattered the vegetable seeds. I was just about to pick them, but I ended up moving here again. It's okay. We can also plant them here. If you can't handle all of them, let them help. Is that okay? The maid quickly said, we can help. We all know how to plant vegetables. You might not be used to it now, but you'll get used to it in the future. Lu did not see Xu Xiaoxiao's figure, so he asked, where's Xiaoxiao? She went to school. I hope she can make new friends. Yeah. Lu nodded. I just want to make this place safer. After Starry City is gone, 7-Star City's situation isn't too good either. Hestia said, I understand what you're thinking. It's also good to move here. It's quite safe. At night, Xu Xiaoxiao finally returned. When she saw Lu, Xu Xiaoxiao was quite happy. Xiaoxiao, how is it? Did you make any new friends at school? Xu Xiaoxiao nodded. Yes. In just a few short months, Lu realized that Xiaoxiao had grown. Xu Xiaoxiao sat beside Lu and said in a low voice, but I still want Sister Katya. If we have the chance in the future, we can go back and visit them. Xu Xiaoxiao looked up at Lu. Really, of course. When Big Brother is strong enough in the future, I'll fly you back directly. Can I sit on Big Brother's big eagle? When the time comes, I'll discuss with it. Since you're my sister, it should agree. Xu Xiaoxiao stretched out her little finger. Let's pinky swear. After staying at home with his family for 3 days, Lu had just returned to the military camp when he was stopped by Elisa. Lu, there's a more troublesome mission here. I need you to lead a team to go. You're the most suitable for this mission in the entire 7th team. Lu had led a team on 2 missions, and his performance was extremely excellent, far exceeding Elisa's expectations. The members of his team had a very high opinion of him, which made Elisa think highly of him. What mission? Take a look at this information. Elisa handed Lu a document bag. Sit there and take your time. Lu sat on the sofa and opened the document bag. It was a document about the Beast God cult. Lu's expression became serious when he saw the words, Beast God cult. Back when he was studying in 7-Star City, the textbook had mentioned this extremely active cult. It recorded in detail how the members of the Beast God cult had used the knowledge and spirit-type divine beasts of the cult to brainwash and hypnotize ordinary people, soldiers, and even beast masters within the borders of the Illumination Empire. It also recorded the various evil deeds they had committed by manipulating these believers. The things they had committed were something only Lu could imagine. There was nothing they couldn't do. After reading through those shocking crimes, Lu took a deep breath. With a spirit-type rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly in his hand, Lu knew very well how destructive the spirit-type abilities and religious knowledge would be when combined with this dangerous world. Are you done reading? Yes. The Beast God cult has always been inactive in our southwest. However, yesterday, our Skylight city received a report from Nuu City. The report said that recently, members of the Beast God cult had appeared in their city and were spreading the teachings of the Beast God cult. Nuu City has already begun to investigate. Elisa said, Captain Banyad takes this matter very seriously. He hopes that our 7th team can transfer some extremely elite members to Nuu City to assist in the investigation. At the same time, we can monitor the progress of their investigation. Elisa said seriously, your rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly is not weak and you are especially good at tracking. I think you are the best candidate to lead the team. Thinking of the documents and bloody pictures of the Beast God cult, Lu nodded firmly, sure. Indeed, the Beast God cult had no reason to exist. The main purpose of your trip this time is to supervise and cooperate with the investigation of Nuu City. Although the risk should not be high, you have to be careful. The ability of the spirit system is extremely strange. You should be clear about it. Okay. The mission will depart at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. There happens to be a centipede train. The speed of the centipede train was not much slower than riding on a gold-grade flying-type pet. With the conductor around, it was even safer. It was also tonight that Lu met his team members. The members of the team were Bruce, Colin, Owen, and Anderson. They didn't know if Elisa had arranged it on purpose, but Lu had helped them capture the beasts before. Bruce and Colin were old teammates, especially, when they saw Lu, they were full of smiles. They knew Lu's ability and strength, as well as his battle record. Lu had also helped them capture excellent pet beasts, so they were very convinced of him. Seeing this small team configuration, Lu was relieved. They were quite strong, experienced, and easier to command, because there would be no problems. At 9 o'clock, Lu and his group left the military camp on time. At 9:30, they arrived at the train battle. Lu and his group of 5 were dressed neatly in military uniforms, carrying suitcases. They stood on platform 007 of the train, looking very eye-catching. Lu, in particular, was young, handsome, and had a calm and serious temperament. He stood in front of the others, and the other 4 felt that he was in the lead, which made him even more eye-catching. Many people who were waiting for the centipede train, intentionally or unintentionally, would also glance at them. I wonder when the train will arrive. It's already 2 hours late. Isn't it normal for the train to be late? I've never met a train that's not late. Look, that soldier brother is so handsome. Do you want to get to know him? Don't be infatuated. It's impossible for him to think highly of you. Why? I think I'm pretty. Look, his military uniform is a member of the emergency response team. He's at least a gold-tier beast master, not an ordinary soldier. When the commoners said the train would be late, that was because they didn't know the exact time the train would arrive in Skylight City. 3 minutes after 10 o'clock, the centipede train slowly came to a stop. The doors slowly opened and the passengers began to alight. After the passengers had alighted, Lu led the 4 of them onto the train. After showing their credentials to the crew members, they were arranged to be in the 3rd carriage. Skylight City was about half a month away from Nuu City. Lu pressed a crystal core on the table lamp and flipped open the books he carried with him under the light. Yesterday afternoon, he borrowed 2 books from Skylight City's library. One was a popular science book about the study of spirit-type fierce beasts, and the other was an investigation report of the Illumination Empire's beast god cult. The beast god cult was a cult that gradually rose during the cataclysm 300 years ago. Their teachings were quite simple and crude, which meant that humans were guilty. The beast god sent fierce beasts to destroy humans. Only those who believed in the beast god could gain the beast god's favor and not be harmed by the fierce beasts. 300 years ago, when the great calamity had just arrived, everyone was in a panic. A portion of the weak-willed people chose to believe in the beast god cult. At that time, the beast god cult was extremely weak. The higher-ups only dared to develop secretly, satisfying their own desires by controlling the followers' thoughts. They were afraid of attracting the attention of the Illumination Empire Alliance. However, when beast masters appeared, the danger level of these cults instantly increased by several levels. The members of the beast god cult had once used their spirit-based abilities to hypnotize a large number of civilians and troops, occupying a base city in an attempt to establish a divine kingdom on land. Of course, that was only the imagination of those lunatics. They were quickly annihilated by the experts sent by the local military. In the past 100 years, the military departments of various regions had zero tolerance for the cult, showing no mercy at all. That was why the emergency response team was able to react so quickly when they reported to Skylight City that there were believers of the beast god cult in Nuu City. After reading the investigation report of the beast god cult, Lu could only say that the forest had grown big and there were all kinds of birds. For more than 10 days, no one else got on the 3rd carriage from the beginning to the end. The attendants on the train, on the other hand, often showed up to greet Lu and the others. There were no accidents on the way. In the evening, the centipede train slowly stopped at the station in Nuu City. As soon as Lu got off the train, he heard someone shouting, "Humans are sinful and will eventually perish. Only by believing in the beast god can we live forever." Lu looked towards the source of the voice. The person who shouted was a middle-aged man who was somewhat down and out. The middle-aged man's face was sallow and sallow. He was wearing a blue uniform with black stains on it. As he walked, he shouted a slogan. Humans are sinful and will eventually perish. Only by believing in the beast god can we live forever. This time, the person who shouted was an ant sitting at the stairs of the platform. Lu took a deep breath and smiled. Why'd I feel like they're trying to show us off? Bruce nodded with a smile. That's what they mean. Let's go to the Nuu City military headquarters and see what's going on with them. They don't seem to be under control. Okay. On the way to the military headquarters of Nuu City, Lu and the others bumped into a few people who were mumbling about worshipping the beast god. However, they were quickly taken away by the patrolling soldiers. Lu and the others found the military headquarters of Nuu City and were brought in after showing their documents. The person who received them was the deputy guardian of Nuu City, Baker. Deputy Guardian Baker, how is the matter with the beast god cult? Lu asked directly. We just got off the platform when we saw the followers of the beast god cult. It doesn't look good. Baker sighed. We haven't found the members of the beast god cult yet. You haven't? Lu frowned. Logically speaking, as long as Nuu City wanted to find the person from the beast god cult, it should be very easy. The household registration in this world was also very strict, especially because of the impact of the inconvenient transportation. There was actually very little floating population. If they wanted to find an outsider, as long as Nuu City's military put in a good effort, there was almost no one they could not find. Yes, we just didn't catch anyone, said Baker. It was completely a coincidence that we found the people of the beast god cult. We brought that believer back for interrogation and did indeed get some clues. In the end, when we went to arrest them, we found nothing. From then on, almost every day, people would run to the streets and shout that stuff, as if they were provoking us. Have you searched the entire southern Nuu City? We haven't finished searching yet, Baker said. We found traces of hypnosis on those beast god believers. Our initial judgment is that the other party must have a spirit-type pet beast. It'll be a little difficult to find them. We can only send out beast masters with spirit-type pet beasts to conduct a search. The progress of the search is very slow. Most spirit-type pet beasts had a few illusions. If ordinary soldiers were sent out to search, the other party would stand in front of the soldiers, and the soldiers might not even be able to see them. I understand. Major Lu, you've had a tiring journey. I've already prepared food for you. Why don't you rest first? All right. After staying on the centipede train for more than half a month, they were indeed not in good spirits. After eating a sumptuous dinner, the five of them quickly rested. The matter of the beast god cult would be discussed tomorrow after they had fully recovered their spirits. If they were looking for people, Lu was actually quite good at it. They've all rested, Deputy Guardian Baker said. Guardian Hall, they've all rested. Guardian Hall of Nuu City rubbed his dry eyes and asked, have you found the people of the beast god cult? Baker said helplessly, not yet. Do you think we can find them? I think it'll be very difficult, Baker said in a low voice. Based on the spiritual energy left behind after the believers were hypnotized, there must be a gold-tier spirit-type pet among the members of the beast god cult. There are only 7 beast masters in our Nuu City who have gold-tier spirit-type pets. It'll be extremely difficult for 7 people to search them out of the city. Besides, we don't even know what they look like. We only know that they're men. Patui. How could these bastards from the beast god cult come to my place? Hall scolded unhappily. Skylight City is taking this matter very seriously. Otherwise, they wouldn't have sent the emergency response team to keep an eye on them. If they still can't find them, don't tell me they want me to personally go door to door? Then what about the emergency response team? Provide them with good food and drinks. If they have any requests, do your best to satisfy them. After all, they are sent by the higher-ups. Baker said, also, send back gold-tier experts from the General Reclamation Troops. Let them help us look for them. Gold-tier beast masters, if their willpower is strong enough, might also be immune to spirit-type abilities. Let's first flip through Nuu City. Indeed, we can't let the beast god cult stay here for too long. Otherwise, it'll be very troublesome. On the second day after arriving in Nuu City, Lu gathered his team to meet Baker. Bruce said in a low voice, it's been almost a month. They haven't even found anyone in Nuu City. It'll probably be very difficult. Colin nodded at the side as well. Spirit-type hallucinating abilities are famous for being difficult to deal with. If the other party really wants to hide, it'll be very difficult for ordinary people to find them. I heard that the beast masters of these cults are all good at hypnosis. That'll be even more troublesome. They can hypnotize any local to stay in their room. It's really like a god doesn't know and a ghost doesn't know. Let's go check out the situation first, and see how their search is progressing, Lu said with a smile. Actually, I'm quite interested in the people from the beast god cult. When Lu accepted this mission from Elisa, he also triggered the system mission. Sometimes, Lu even felt that Captain Elisa's was very much like a system NPC. When Lu saw Baker, he asked him about the progress of the search for the members of the beast god cult in Nuu City. Baker's answer was simple. They had already sent over 50 gold-tier beast masters to lead the search. They couldn't guarantee when they would be able to find them. Lou had a rough idea of the situation. He said to Baker, Deputy Guardian Baker, "Actually, our squad is good at finding people too. Captain Banya sent us here to help with the search in Nuu City. Can you find someone familiar with this matter to show us around?" "Yes." Baker immediately found his adjutant. "His name is Warren, my adjutant. He is very clear about this matter. Let him come and take a look." "Okay." After Lou and the others left, Baker breathed a sigh of relief. The secretary asked in a low voice while pouring water, "Deputy Guardian, can they find it?" "We haven't found them yet. How can they find them?" Baker said nonchalantly, "We don't even know what they look like. How are they going to find them?" After leaving the military gate, Lou looked at Warren. He was very young, about 20 years old. However, Lou did not seem to have the right to say that others were young. "Adjutant Warren, I want to ask if you know what those people look like." Warren shook his head. After interrogating those believers, they all said that they could not remember what the guide looked like. "How did you find out that the beast god cult had appeared in Nuu City?" When a mercenary returned home, he found out that his entire family had worshipped the beast god cult. He immediately reported this matter to our city guards. "Didn't Deputy Guardian Baker say that you had arranged for people to arrest the members of the beast god cult? Where was their original stronghold? Bring us to take a look." "Okay." Warren hesitated. "But we've searched everywhere. There shouldn't be any clues." "Just bring us to take a look." "Okay." Warren received Baker's orders to satisfy Lou and the others. Warren called for a car and brought Lou and the others to a small square. There was a small theater next to the small square. Warren pointed at the small theater and said, "The followers of the beast god cult have been preaching here for a period of time. Let's go in and take a look." Lou opened the curtain and went in. Bruce and the others followed. After stepping into the small theater, Lou smelled the smell of cleaning agents. The stage was clean and polished. The chairs were neatly arranged and had been cleaned. Lou sniffed and gave up helplessly. The Berserk Bear's exceptional sense of smell could not do anything about this situation. Bruce asked, "Captain, did you find anything?" "No." After leaving the small square, Lou walked out with his men on the streets of Nuu City. At this moment, Lou also had a headache. He was indeed good at finding people. However, he did not know what the other party looked like or what the other party's scent was. There were no clues, so how could he find them? There were probably more than 100,000 people living in Nuu City. In addition to the complicated environment in the city, if he wanted to find the followers of the beast god cult, he might have to rely on the tactics of a sea of people. When it was almost noon, Lou suddenly saw many people gathered in front of him, as if they were watching something interesting. The few of them strode forward. When the civilians saw that Lou and the others were wearing military uniforms, they immediately made way for them. Lou and the others walked in and saw a middle-aged woman lying in a pool of blood. She had already lost her breath. Bruce asked, "What happened?" "It's none of our business. She committed suicide." "Yes, she committed suicide. We saw it with our own eyes. Before she died, she said that she wanted to sacrifice herself to the beast god." Lou released the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly. The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly did not feel any trace of spiritual power fluctuation on the body of the deceased. She was not hypnotized. However, this was normal. Even the people of the beast god cult could not hypnotize all the believers. Lou sniffed the body. There were too many kinds of smells, which made him a little confused. The body was quickly disposed of. After questioning, Warren told Lou and the others that the deceased was a widow who worked part-time. Her husband died, and her only son died of illness 2 years ago. However, the deceased's neighbor said that she had been mysterious some time ago, as if she was attending some kind of gathering. In recent days, she had been locked in her room until today. She did not expect to commit suicide. Lou scratched his head, feeling a bit of a headache. She was already dead. He let out a light breath and looked at the crowd that was slowly dispersing around him. Occasionally, he would meet the gaze of a young girl. The young girl lowered her head shyly and hurriedly turned around to leave. Lou stared blankly at the back of the young girl and gradually disappeared around the corner. Bruce asked with a grin, "Captain, they've all left. Do you want to chase after them?" Lou did not answer Bruce. Instead, he looked at Warren and asked, "Adjutant Warren, let me ask you something. Did you catch some followers of the beast god cult? Were those female followers violated?" Lou remembered that Warren had mentioned that there were men among the followers of the beast god cult. Cultists could be roughly divided into 2 types. One was a real madman who believed that the beast god really existed. For the sake of their faith, they would do many crazy things. Another was a clear-headed person who knew that the so-called gods did not exist. They only used the name of God to satisfy their own desires. All human desires were the same: power, money, reputation, and beauty. Warren said in a low voice, "There are indeed, but those believers think that they are serving the beast god." Lou raised his eyebrows and asked, "Are there many of them?" "A little." Lou said in a low voice, "After we catch them, I will blow their heads off." Warren could feel the terrifying killing intent from Lou. "Adjutant Warren, help me find all the missing persons cases in your Nuu City in the past month. I want women." Warren was shocked. He was not an idiot. After Lou's advice, he knew that Lou had found a breakthrough. Major Lou's mission, those followers of the beast god cult might. "Why not?" Lou smiled. "It is obvious that the other party is a lecher and has a spirit pet. It is not easy to do such a thing. Even if the other party really did not cheat the women, we are also idle. Our brows are being taken care of by you. We can't do big things, but we can do small things. Major Lou, can I report this matter to the Deputy Guardian? I think what you said makes sense." "All right." This matter still required the cooperation of Nuu City. Lou's mission was this. Whether it was the first achievement or not, he didn't care. What he needed was to complete the mission and get rid of the members of the beast god cult who were hiding in Nuu City. Returning to the military headquarters, Warren told Baker about Lou's guess. Baker said helplessly, "Major Lou, you're right. We thought of it a few days ago, but Adjutant Warren was sent by me to monitor the progress of the search, so he didn't know much." Lou asked, "What was the result?" "After searching for a month, Nuu City would definitely start from another direction. Some people in Nuu City's military noticed that the female believers had been violated and suspected that the members of the beast god cult were more lustful. It was not surprising that they decided to start the investigation from the missing girl." Baker took out a photo and handed it to Lou. In the photo was an extremely beautiful girl with long hair and a warm smile on the corner of her mouth. "Lillian went missing 17 days ago. When we noticed this possibility, she had already been missing for 10 days. We sent out the best golden hounds in the city, but we didn't find any clues." Baker said, "It's probably because our strict search recently scared them. No one else has gone missing." "Can you take us to take a look?" Baker emphasized. "It's already been 17 days. I want to take a look." Baker glanced at Lou and smiled casually. He handed a document to him and said, "Okay, I'll hand the document to you. If you don't want to give up, go take a look." "Okay." After taking the document, Lou led his men out of the military headquarters. It was obvious that he did not have much hope. So what if it's 17 days? Do we have any other choice? Lou found Lillian's address and handed it to Warren. "Take us there." On the way, Lou read the file carefully and roughly understood the incident. Lillian was just an ordinary civilian worker in a factory. 17 days ago, she had never returned home after going to work at night. Her family thought that Lillian was working overtime. After all, overtime was normal. The next day, her family felt that something was wrong, so they went to the factory to look for their daughter. After checking the surveillance cameras at the factory entrance, they found that their daughter had gone missing. They put all their energy into the house and searched the members of the beast god cult. Later, when Nuu City noticed that Lillian had gone missing for 10 days, it was already too late. When they arrived at Lillian's house, Lou met Lillian's parents and younger brother. They were not in good condition and their eyes were red. "Sir, have you found Lillian?" "Not yet." Lillian's parents and younger brother were disappointed. "Bring me to Lillian's room to have a look." "Okay." Lillian's mother brought Lou into Lillian's bedroom. The bedroom was very simple. The books used for basic accounting were neatly arranged on the desk. A bouquet of dried rose flowers was placed in a vase next to it. Lou closed his eyes and took a deep breath. Countless scents instantly filled his mind. He glanced at Lillian's mother and said, "I'm a beastmaster. I'm very sensitive to scents." He sniffed the air on the pillow, the blanket, and Lillian's clothes. With Lou's reminder, Lillian's mother didn't find anything wrong. "I'll leave my daughter's matter to you, sir. I'll do my best." It was already 17 days later, and Lou didn't dare to guarantee anything. Next was the factory where Lillian was working. The factory's surveillance showed that Lillian had left the factory. Colin whispered, "Do you think the captain can find her?" Bruce whispered, "Have you forgotten that the captain is especially good at scent tracking?" "Yes, I remember that he was rated first class. In the entire southwest region, he is at the top level." Hearing their words, Lu only smiled. When he entered the emergency team's evaluation, his sense of smell and tracking ability had indeed been rated first class. Back then, the Berserk Bear's sense of smell was only at a rare tier. But now, the Berserk Bear's sense of smell was peerless. In the entire Illumination Empire Alliance, his sense of smell and tracking ability was definitely top-notch. As long as it was a person, he could smell their period even from 1,000 meters away. Standing at the entrance of the factory, Lu sniffed and tens of thousands of scents surged into his brain at the same time. Lu tried his best to distinguish Lillian's unique scent from the tens of thousands of scents. After fighting on the spot for 2 minutes, he slowly opened his eyes and took firm steps to turn left. The smell was very faint, and was covered by countless other stronger scents. But it still didn't escape Lu's sense of smell. The 4 members of the emergency team behind him and Warren immediately followed. After walking for more than 10 minutes, they came to an intersection, and Lu stopped on the spot. The smell that Lillian left here was slightly stronger. If they went straight, they would be Lillian's home. But at that time, she chose to turn right. Lu also turned right, and the old buildings on both sides of the street gradually became more beautiful. Through an arch, Lu and the others entered the central district of Nuu City. After another 10 minutes, Lu arrived at an apartment district. After strolling through the apartment district, Lu managed to arrive. He turned around and asked Warren, who lived in the 6 buildings we passed by just now. Most of the families of the soldiers, they really know how to hide. Major Lu means that they are hiding there, at least Lillian entered there at that time. Lu glanced at the flower bed beside him and waved his hand, causing the bloodthirsty hellvine to fall into the flower bed. Monitor all the underground areas nearby. Don't let anyone slip away from the underground. The bloodthirsty hellvine slowly sank into the soil. Adjutant Warren, go and inform Deputy Guardian Baker to send someone over. Okay. 10 minutes later, Baker arrived. In fact, this place was not far from the military headquarters of Nuu City. Major Lu, are you sure that the people of the Beast God cult are in that apartment? I'm only sure that Lillian entered that apartment. Lu emphasized, it's not good for me to get close to it. Besides, the people living in the apartment are the military families on your side. Baker nodded. Guardian Hall will be here soon. He'll be making a move personally this time. That's good. Hall was a platinum-tier beast master. With him making a move, it was naturally a sure thing. Not long after, Hall finally arrived. You're Major Lu? Hello, Guardian Hall, I've heard of your name, first place in the Southwest Grand Competition. I didn't expect you to find a clue so quickly. Hall believed that the people sent by the higher-ups would definitely not be bored to entertain him. They must have found a tangible clue. Baker lowered his head, not knowing what to say. They had searched the entire southern Nuu City for an entire month, but they had found nothing. In the end, once Lu arrived, they found an important clue on the same day. Hall looked at Baker. Have the property management staff arrived? Yes. 2 soldiers brought 3 property management staff over. They were all men. The 3 property workers were trembling with fear and their faces were pale. They thought that they had done something wrong. When they saw Hall, they almost knelt down. Hall reached out and grabbed a property worker who was the same size as him. Then, he turned into the exact same person he had grabbed, except for his military uniform. That property worker looked at him who looked exactly the same as if he had seen a ghost. Even Lu was a little shocked. He really wanted to know if this Guardian Hall had ever turned into a woman. This is just a small trick. Hall smiled. Lu really wanted to learn this kind of small trick. Major Lu, how did you find this place? My nose is better. Can you come with me? Hall asked. The people living there are all military families. I don't want to make a big fuss. Sure. Then give me your hand. Hall grabbed Lu's hand and put his hand on the shoulder of another young property worker. In an instant, Lu only felt an itch. Seeing the stunned expressions of Bruce and the others, Lu understood that he must have changed his appearance like Hall. The rest of you, stand by and be ready to release the flying-type beasts at any time. Also, monitor the area below the ground. Hall and Lu changed their looks and followed another property worker into the apartment. The other property worker already knew the truth of the matter and knew that he had to cooperate with the Guardian to capture the cultists. However, he was still relatively calm because Hall promised that he would not let anything happen to him. Hall's strength was known throughout the entire Nuu City. His promise was trustworthy. Lu walked to the front. As he walked, he smelled the faint scent of Lillian. Occasionally, when passing by the apartment, they would greet Lu and the others. However, they were easily dealt with. When they reached the third floor, Lu led Hall directly to the left. They walked to the deepest part and stopped at the door that was closest to the wall. Hall understood without any explanation. He pulled the property worker behind him and placed his hand on the lock. The door opened naturally. As soon as he pushed the door open, Lu and the others heard the sound of a broken window entering. Hall looked at the broken window and sneered, "Escape? Where do you think you're going?" Escape, of course, was impossible. There were at least a dozen gold-tier beastmasters outside. Even platinum-tier beastmasters would be defeated by their combined attacks. "Catch him! Quick, block him! Don't let him escape!" Lu heard the beastmasters outside chasing after the disciples of the beast god cult. Hall jumped out of the window in 3 steps. He wanted to do it himself. Lu didn't follow. Hall was enough. He swept his gaze across the hall. On the sofa in the hall, there were 2 elderly couples lying on the floor. Their physical characteristics were very normal. The followers of the beast god cult did not kill them, but only made them fall into a coma. However, this was also very normal. At a critical moment, these 2 elderly people could not only be used as hostages, but also used to deal with inspections. He sniffed and opened a door. He saw a beautiful young girl. Her face was pale and her hair was messy. She was lying quietly on the bed, unconscious. Lillian was also fine. This was a great fortune out of misfortune. It seemed that the disciple of the beast god cult was not crazy. Perhaps he could not bear to part with Lillian. After all, the situation outside was so tense. He definitely would not dare to move. It was already good enough to have a woman. At this moment, an obscure spiritual energy spread out. Lu's mind was muddled. The wardrobe door was opened, and an ordinary man in his 30s walked out triumphantly. "Humph! I didn't expect the people of Nuu City to actually be able to find this place." The man acted as if Lu didn't exist. He looked longingly at Lillian and directly walked out of the door. When he left the room, he snapped his fingers. "Quick, follow me." This? What else could Lu say? Of course, he followed him without hesitation. It seemed like the followers of the beast god cult who had come to Nuu City this time were all alone. After taking a few steps, the man turned to look at Lu and said disdainfully, "Gold tier beast master. Your strength isn't bad. My baby is indeed very strong, but I'm about to leave this place." Lu felt that he might have misunderstood something. Right at this moment, a gust of wind blew past, and the guardian of Nuu City, Hall, appeared in the hall. Hall looked at the beast god cult member and said coldly, "So there's another person here." The beast god cult member finally panicked. He shouted at Lu, "Come here quickly." "What do you mean? Are all the disciples of the beast god cult so arrogant now?" The man ran behind Lu and took out a dagger made of black gold armored spider blades, pressing it against Lu's throat. That dagger was a little too low end. He threatened Hall, "Don't come near me. If you come near me again, I'll kill him." Hall saw Lu and was a little concerned. After all, Lu's identity was special, and he was sent by Skylight City. If he died, Hall wouldn't be able to explain himself. Seeing that Hall was threatened by him and didn't dare to make a move, the follower of the beast god cult was overjoyed. "Step back. Immediately send a military vehicle to send me out. Release him. As long as I'm safe, I'll release him." At this moment, Lu stretched out his hand and grabbed his knife-wielding wrist tightly. The farce should be over. Hiss! A huge force was felt, and the beast god cult member sucked in a breath of cold air. He felt as if the bones on his wrist were about to be crushed. "Bastard, what are you doing? Listen to my orders and let go." Both sides were gold-tier beast masters. It wouldn't be easy to control Lu. Moreover, Lu had the berserk bear and a rare spirit resistance talent. With a "kacha" sound, Lu directly broke his opponent's hand. "Ah!" His opponent cried out in pain. Ding, 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 ding. The dagger fell to the ground. Lu gave his opponent a very good hit. Bang! The ground was directly split open. Lu was still angry. He raised his leg and attacked his opponent one by one. "How dare you call me a bastard? Ah! Listen to your orders." "Ah!" FCK the Beast God. Ah, after a series of violent hoofs, Lu felt a little relieved. The Beast God cult member threw a blow. Blood spread from his lower body. After he fainted, he did not forget to cover his crotch with his hands. Hall walked in front of the Beast God cult member. After examining him, he immediately shouted, "Medic! Call the medic over." Even if Lu withdrew the strength in his foot, he could still kill a person if he kept kicking the weak part of the man. Lu glanced at his blood-stained shoes and wiped them clean on the unconscious man's clothes with a look of disgust. Soon, the medic dared to come over, and the Beastmaster brought a green jade sheep with him. After taking off the man's pants, the doctor couldn't help but curl his lips when he saw the miserable state he was in. "I feel like I don't even need to cut it." Lu and Hall did not care at all. As long as the other party was alive and only the other party could speak, that would be enough. "Major Lu, I have to thank you this time." Hall extended his hand to Lu. "If it weren't for you, we wouldn't know how long we would have to look for you." Lu held Hall's hand. "This is what we should do. This is also why we came here." The two old couple who had been living in the house were quickly rescued. Lillian was sent to the hospital. The rest of the work was, of course, handled by Nuu City. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully capturing the members of the Beast God cult in Nuu City. Ding! Mission completed. The host can raise any pet beast's talent level. Lu chose the Berserk Bear's Spirit Resistance talent. He realized today that the Spirit Resistance talent was actually quite useful. If he didn't have Spirit Resistance, he might have been controlled today. Ding! Your Berserk Bear's rare Spirit Resistance talent has been upgraded to Peerless. Lu had always focused on saving his life. As long as he could survive, he would be able to deal damage. As long as he could survive, there would be hope. After getting out of the apartment and changing into his military uniform, Lu brought his men back to the guest house. Colin asked, "Captain, is it over just like that?" Lu asked back, "Of course it's over just like that. What else do you want?" "I feel like we haven't done anything since we came here," Bruce said in a depressed tone. "We just accompanied the captain to go shopping for half a day." "Go shopping? Isn't shopping good?" Lu said in a low voice. "Who doesn't want to go shopping every day?" "Yeah, who doesn't want to go shopping every day? Who would want to risk their lives every day?" Owen said in a low voice. "But the mission has been completed. We are relaxed now." Lu looked at the sky. It was not early yet. It was just 3 o'clock in the afternoon. "Now that the mission has been completed, you can go shopping if you want. Remember to gather at 7. The Guardian said he would treat us to a meal." "Okay." Lu and his subordinates scattered like birds and beasts. During dinner, Lu learned about the interrogation of the two members of the Beast God cult. Hall said helplessly, "We didn't get any useful information. Their memories were tampered with." "That's troublesome." Lu wasn't very good at this. "Skylight City is also good at finding memories," Hall said. "Let's give these two members of the Beast God cult another try. If we really can't handle them, I want Major Lu to escort them back to Skylight City." "Sure." Lu didn't decline. Even if this matter was reported, the mission would most likely still be theirs. "Who asked them to go along the way? I'll immediately send someone to report the situation here. Just 13 days. Hall said, "Before the next centipede train arrives, if we don't have any progress, you guys take them back." Okay. Staying in Nuu City for a few more days was acceptable to Lu. Almost all the human-based cities were surrounded by fierce beasts. Returning to Skylight City to kill fierce beasts was no different from killing fierce beasts here. After telling the 4 team members about the matter, they had no objections. On the second day after catching the disciples of the Beast God cult, Lu got the distribution map of fierce beasts near Nuu City from the military. There was nothing more important than increasing one's strength. Right now, the Stormhawk, the Berserk Bear, and the bloodthirsty Hell Vine had all risen to high-tier gold. Only the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly was still at middle-tier gold, which made Lu, who had some minor obsessive-compulsive disorder, feel a little awkward. 12 days later, 8 Beastmasters gathered in a dilapidated residential building in the slums of Nuu City. Those 2 pieces of trash can't even do such a thing. A black-robed man appeared and started cursing. They clearly escaped, but they still managed to find them. "Sir, we've also found out that Nuu City seems to be unable to interrogate them. They're planning to hand Ash and Carolyn over to the members of the emergency response team and send them to Skylight City via the centipede train." Can we choose to attack them on the centipede train? The black-robed man shook his head and smiled. I'm afraid that won't do. Those train conductors are on average a level stronger than the Guardian. Compared to them, Hall is actually easier to deal with. As the Guardian, he has more things to take care of. Then, my lord, you mean that we will act in Nuu City? Yes, I've summoned all of you from other cities to come here. All of you are tired after running around for so long. The black-robed man said, we'll rest today. We'll take action tomorrow night. Leave Hall to me. All of you will be in charge of bringing Ash and Carolyn back. If it really doesn't work out, send them to serve the Lord Beast God. Yes, Lord Bishop. 13 days later, in the evening, Lou finally met Warren. Warren also brought an order from the army of Skylight City. He would lead a team to escort the 2 disciples of the Beast God cult back to Skylight City. Ding! Mission issued. Escort the disciples back to Skylight City. Mission reward. The host can select a pet beast and let it comprehend a skill that matches the pet's innate talent. There was no reason to miss out on a system mission. After asking a little, the 2 disciples of the Beast God cult were unable to obtain any valuable information in Nuu City. In the second half of the night, Lou was lying on his bed when he suddenly heard an explosion. It was as if there was an earthquake, and the ground began to shake violently. There's an earthquake, everyone, run! Lou immediately got up from his bed, put on his clothes, and rushed out of the guest house. The moment he stepped out of the door, he saw that the other 4 members of the squad were also there. Lou looked in the direction of the explosion. It was very close. Flames had already lit up at Nuu City's military headquarters. Stormhawk, Scout. In the dark night, the Stormhawk spread its wings and flew high into the sky, disappearing in an instant. Let's go take a look. Yes, Captain. The 5 of them charged toward Nuu City's military headquarters. There were also many soldiers and beast masters charging toward the military headquarters with them. The military headquarters of Nuu City had been attacked. The first person Lou suspected was a human. Fierce beasts wouldn't be able to pinpoint their location so accurately. Be careful. The other party has at least the strength of a platinum tier beast master. Otherwise, they wouldn't have the guts to attack the military headquarters of Nuu City. Understood. After running a few steps, Lou added, it's very likely that they're from the Beast God cult. Be careful of their spiritual skills. This was also what Lou had just remembered. In the entire southwest region, there were indeed other factions besides the military. It was very rare for them to be so crazy as to directly attack the military of a base city. In particular, there were 2 members of the Beast God cult imprisoned in the military of Nuu City. That made it even more likely that they were from the Beast God cult. Of course, this was only his guess. The Stormhawk was already in position. After communicating with it, Lou knew that the one who had the confidence to attack the military was a beast master. This could be considered as confirming Lou's guess. The Stormhawk has confirmed it. The opponent is a human beast master. In just 3 minutes, Lou and the others saw the battlefield. The battlefield, and which one was it? A few huge pet beasts were fighting. The aftermath of the battle had almost destroyed the military headquarters and the buildings near the military headquarters. According to the Stormhawk's warning, Lou quickly noticed the black-robed man sitting in the sky above the military headquarters. The black-robed man's eyes were glowing with a white light. He also saw Hall, who was standing on the Azure Eagle. He wasn't in a good condition. He had been beaten into a sorry state. During the battle, he had been too preoccupied with something and couldn't use his full strength. Lou understood after a moment's thought. This was the military headquarters of Nuu City. Not only were there a large number of soldiers, beastmasters, and military families living nearby, but there were also a large number of gold-tier flying-type pet beasts. Many gold-tier flying-type pet beasts appeared in the sky. They were the beastmasters of Nuu City's military. However, before those gold-tier pet beasts could get close to the black-robed old man, chaos broke out, and they started attacking each other. How is this possible? What's going on? My golden saber eagle is out of control. Make them stop. Mind control. Very strong mind control. Lou's rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly could do it too. However, the probability of controlling a platinum-tier spirit-type pet was not high. Lou was certain that the black-robed man had a platinum-tier spirit-type pet on him. This was the Nuu City military headquarters. The other party was probably just trying to create chaos and stall Hall. If it was a platinum tier beast, Lu could still consider fighting it. But if it was a platinum tier beast master, it was better to let Hall deal with it first. The people from the beast god cult must be after those two prisoners. Let's go to the prison. Okay. When they first captured the two people from the beast god cult, Lu had been to the military prison in Nuu City. He knew the location of the prison. It was underground behind the military headquarters. The prisoners in there were all major criminals from Nuu City. The prison had been severely damaged by the battle between Hall and the black-robed man. Many places had collapsed. The three prisoners had just crawled out of the prison. They breathed in the fresh air desperately and shouted excitedly, "We're free. Let's go." "Don't shout," behind him, his companions cursed. However, they had not even run 2 steps when they ran into 5 soldiers. Before they could see Lu's group clearly, Lu had already seen them clearly. They were wearing prison uniforms and had energy guns in their hands. "Kill them!" Colin jumped up and the 3 prisoners died instantly. They didn't even have time to react. He released the bloodthirsty hell vine and sealed the underground. Lu and the others looked at the prison's entrance. The city's electrical system had gone haywire, and it was pitch black. However, gold-tier beast masters had their bodies strengthened multiple times. They were able to adapt to the dark environment. Just as they entered the prison's entrance, Lu saw 7 dead military beast masters. They didn't have any wounds on their bodies. Lu immediately summoned the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly. The rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly could feel the spiritual fluctuations from the 2 dead bodies. "The people from the beast god cult have entered. Be careful." Yes. Lu led his men into the prison, heading downwards. They saw the soldiers who were already dead. Just as they turned a corner, they ran into 8 prisoners who had escaped. Lu waved his hand, and the 8 prisoners who had just escaped from the prison died before they could rejoice. The prison environment was a little complicated. There were 78,000 prisoners, and it was a little complicated. Lu had only been here once, so he wasn't clear about the layout of the prison. "Colin. Captain. You and Owen go guard the exit of the prison. If any prisoners escape, kill them all." Colin and Owen didn't have spirit-type pets. Among the people from the beast god cult, there might be spirit-type pets. "The 2 of you, get ready to fight. Release your spirit-type pets." "Yes, Captain." Lu ordered, rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly, spirit sense. They should be in that direction. He pointed to a corner, which should be where the 2 disciples of the beast god cult were imprisoned. Soon, the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly found the other party. It told Lu that they were heading in his direction, and seemed to have noticed him. It was very likely that their spirit-type pet beasts could sense him too. What are their strengths? After receiving the rainbow-colored glazed psychedelic butterfly's response, Lu laughed. 7 people, and all of them were gold-tier beast masters. He wasn't confident about being a platinum-tier beast master. However, the other party was a gold-tier beast master, so he had no problem with that. "Just you wait. I'll go kill them." Lu walked out directly and ran in the direction of the beast god cult members. Just as he turned a corner, Lu saw 7 black-robed beast god cult members. 2 of them were carrying 2 prisoners. Kill him? Lu ignored them and charged straight at the 7 of them. Spirit attack. Lu felt as though someone had slapped him on the head. After that, he felt nothing. The 7 members of the beast god cult looked at their companions in astonishment. They felt as though their companions had gone easy on him. Spirit attack. The gold-tier beast master who had used a spirit-type skill to attack Lu shouted, "No, it's useless against him. Then let's attack him together." Spirit storm. Spirit control. Illusion spell. A gold-tier beast master from the beast god cult saw Lu continue running towards him, looking as if he had seen a ghost. How is that possible? Our abilities are useless against him. The 7 disciples of the beast god cult couldn't understand it. Spirit-type attacks were known to be strange and unpredictable, extremely difficult to guard against. Why was it that their all-conquering spiritual attacks were actually ineffective against Lu? Right at this moment, Lu had already rushed up to the first member of the beast god cult at a terrifying speed. Hallucinate your head. There was a loud bang. The prison's grayish-white walls were splashed with red and white. A gold-tier beast master was killed by Lu with a single punch. The remaining 6 beast masters of the beast god cult were all in shock. Lu stomped his foot, and the floor beneath his feet exploded. He instantly appeared in front of another beast master. After a punch, the beast master's body directly exploded. Quickly block him. In the blink of an eye, Lu rushed in front of the third beast master. Spiritual barrier. The third beast master finally reacted. The silver-white spiritual barrier protected him. Lu punched out, and with a crash, the spiritual barrier shattered like glass. However, Lu's punch did not slow down. With one punch, he once again heard the notification of the experience points. It was also at this time that the 4 members of the beast god cult released their pet beasts. 7 smaller gold-tier pet beasts appeared in front of Lu. The prison in Nuu City was underground. The buildings were sturdy and the passage was narrow. The large pet beasts could not be released at all. The disciples of the beast god cult released 7 gold-tier pet beasts and immediately separated themselves from Lu. Kill him. The 7 gold-tier pet beasts swarmed up and attacked Lu. However, because the terrain was narrow, only the first 2 could really attack Lu. Seeing a gold-tier clouded leopard pouncing at him, Lu snorted coldly. He kicked the clouded leopard that was pouncing at him. The clouded leopard extended its sharp claws at him. His leg was about to disappear. This was the thought of all the members of the beast god cult. To be immune to spirit-type skills, it was indeed very strong. It was simply the nemesis of spirit-type pet beasts. However, they weren't just members of the beast god cult. They were also beast masters. It was impossible for them to only rely on spirit-type pet beasts. It was already ridiculous enough for them to be immune to spirit-type attacks. He couldn't possibly be immune to physical and elemental attacks, right? However, what happened next was something that they had never imagined would happen. Bang! An explosion rang out. The clouded leopard was ruthlessly kicked by Lu. Like a cannonball, it sent the 3 pet beasts behind it flying, leaving nothing behind. As for the 3 gold-tier pet beasts that were hit by the clouded leopard, 2 died and 1 was heavily injured. One kick. 3 gold-tier pet beasts were kicked to death. The 4 followers of the beast god cult felt that they might be in a nightmare. If this was a nightmare, they really wanted to wake up from it immediately. One of the followers of the beast god cult muttered, "A platinum tier beast master? Impossible. He's a gold tier beast master. My senses can't be wrong. I've never been wrong before. Run, underground." The 4 followers of the beast god cult immediately panicked. They summoned 2 gold tier pets again. One was an earth elemental demon rat and the other was a thick armored mountain rat. They began to dig crazily toward the surface of the prison. After digging through the concrete surface with ease, the sharp claws of the earth elemental demon rat and the thick armored mountain rat rubbed against the alloy steel plates in the underground, creating dazzling sparks. This was the prison in Nuu City that specialized in holding heavy criminals. How could they not have considered that someone would use an earth-type pet to rescue the prisoners? If digging a hole was really useful, the 7 followers of the beast god cult would not have barged in through the main entrance. Moreover, so what if they dug through the alloy steel plates? The bloodthirsty hell vine was still waiting for them below. After Lu finished dealing with the 7 gold-tier pets, they had not even broken through the steel plates yet. Amidst the steady footsteps, a pair of blood-stained ordnance stopped in front of them. Lu looked at them in disappointment. "You guys are too slow." In the prison, hearing the sounds of fighting, Anderson, a member of the emergency team, whispered, "Do you think the captain can handle it alone?" "The captain isn't that arrogant," Bruce said. "The captain is very careful. He never does anything that he's not confident in." That seems to be the case. Recalling the way Lu usually did things, Anderson agreed with Bruce. "Bruce, Anderson, come and bring them out." When they heard Lu's voice, they immediately summoned their pet beasts and approached him carefully. When they saw the floor full of pet beasts and beast master corpses, they were extremely shocked. 7 gold-tier beast masters were actually not their captain's match. 10 minutes later, Lu and the other 2 carried the 2 beast god cult members and walked out of the prison gates. Colin and Owen hurriedly came over to receive them. "Captain, there are 17 prisoners who wanted to escape from the prison. They've already been dealt with." "Yes." Lu looked at the sky. It seemed that the battle was not over yet. He immediately ordered, "We will take our men and leave immediately." "Yes." However, they had only run a few steps when Lu shouted loudly, "All of you, get down on the ground." The 4 of them did not think too much and all laid on the ground. A huge wind blade slashed across their heads. If it was not for Lu's order, they would have been cut in half on the spot. Lu looked up into the sky. The black-robed man riding on the drifting wind crane was still dealing with the attacks of the other gold-tier flying-type pet beasts. Of course, Lu didn't think that the black-robed man from the beast god cult had missed. The accuracy of a platinum-tier pet beast couldn't be that ridiculous. The other party must have noticed them already. Lu didn't expect that despite the existence of Hall in Nuu City and the presence of so many gold-tier beast masters, they still hadn't subdued the other party. It would be very troublesome to be targeted by such a platinum-tier beast master. Stormhawk, come and pick me up. With a cold expression, Lu kicked 4 of the captured beast masters to death. These 4 captives had only fainted, and they still had their pet beasts on them. It would be troublesome when they woke up. It was better to deal with them directly. It just so happened that Lu was just short of experience points.